This was a fucking doozy and a half.
Yeah, but I also feel like some of that gonna get cut out and chopped up and placed around.
Yeah, but I feel like it was really good information, and I don't feel like we repeated a lot.
No, I don't think we were. Well, there were some, but honestly, it all led to different strings of conversations. And honestly, I feel like each time she talked about the experience, I feel like she went deeper.
Completely, yeah.
Like her sharing the stuff about standing next to that producer and hearing Natalie. That was interesting because that's a firsthand, and that was the beginning of it.
And talking about Christina, like, openly.
All right, so what I do want to do is I do want to say we just finished interviewing Jada, and so we're going to play that. But first, we want to welcome y'all to Guns Blazing. Pew, pew. And we're going to get into a couple topics, and then we're going to play the interview with Jada, but it was awesome. It was incredible. I feel like she was so transparent, and yeah, shout out to Jada.
Shout out to Jada. We love you.
I will come back guns blazing.
Okay, wait. Please tell me about this Abby girl. Like that.
This Abby girl.
Well, her name's not Abby, but he was just looking up that girl that was at the
Yes.
App. Boom.
Anna Bash. Okay, so on April 4th, a TikToker named Anna Bash went viral after she posted a video where she described an experience that happened to her at the waterfront in Venice. Okay. She had hit it off with a guy, and then they went next door, which was to the waterfront. While they were at the waterfront, she said that the bar only serves wine and they don't serve liquor. So she said that the guy is having a glass of wine. She described him as a big guy. Within a few minutes of being there, he becomes completely incapacitated almost immediately. She gets him in an Uber. The next day she checks in. She said that he says he's a lawyer and that he suspects that his drink was spiked and was meant for his female friend who had given him the drink, because he had just represented 3 women in a lawsuit against another popular bar, which was Roosterfish, also in Venice. And in that lawsuit, they uncovered security footage that showed bartenders using designated bottles kept separately from regular liquor to target and traffic women. This TikToker posts this video. The video goes viral. If you look in the comments, there's like 5,000 comments. The video's still up, so you can go look at it. At almost every comment under that video is people saying the Abbey, the Abbey, the Abbey, the Abbey. This happened to me at the Abbey. This happened to my wife at the Abbey. This happened to my friend at the Abbey. XYZ. I've been drugged at the Abbey. I've had friends. I had a friend who's been drugged at the Abbey twice. I've had other times at the Abbey where it's
by
like
establishment, or you don't know who.
I don't know. I have no idea. But like just experiences where it's like I'm one drink in and I'm fucking incapacitated and having to be like carried into an Uber. Like
no, like not at the Abbey, but in Miami. My ex, I remember he went to the bartender and he asked him if he could put G in one of the drinks, and the bartender had it, and I was like,
no, literally, like it's a thing. It's a fucking thing.
So it doesn't surprise me.
So
okay,
she posted that video, and then there's a zillion comments about the Abbey under it. Okay. And then that's why she ended up clarifying, because in the original video, she didn't say which bars she was referring to, talking about the situation with the guy or with the girls. But then in the comments, she clarified, like, I'm not talking about the Abbey. These are the 2 places that I'm talking about. Okay. So after that video, she posted a video a couple days ago, and she said that I posted this viral video about these 2 bars in Venice, and I got flooded with comments and DMs about this one bar. And then she corrects herself and says specifically a billionaire who owns 2 bars that are right next to each other. So in the comments, it's obvious because her whole comment section is about the Abbey. So this guy, David Cooley, who is a billionaire, owns the Abbey and the Chapel, which are 2 bars in West Hollywood. You know, we've been there freaking 9 million times. 2 bars in West Hollywood that are attached to each other, and apparently they're owned by this guy who's a billionaire. So she said she gets all these DMs and comments about the Abbey, but specifically she gets a DM from a girl who describes in explicit detail being trafficked, essentially. So she said she responded to an ad for a personal assistant. She doesn't say explicitly that it was David Cooley, but it's like alluded to. Responded to an ad for a personal assistant, went to the bar, had drinks. Oh, yeah, it does say David Cooley because she says the owner. The owner then takes her back to a house that she presumes is his and tells her that he's just going to give her a rundown of her responsibilities. He then, once they're at the house, sexually assaults her, rapes her. She said that she saw many other women there, and she said obviously she doesn't know for sure, but she is assuming that many of them were underage. It was giving like very, very, very young girls. She said it was the middle of the day. She said that there were many old men. She said the cops were in on it. The FBI knows. And she described it as a brothel and said it was very, very, very close to the Abbey. And the TikToker ended the video by saying they're grooming and recruiting bartenders to either be trafficked themselves or take a cut by preying on other people, recruiting other people, drugging other people. She said at the Abbey that people are saying that it's because at the other places that she described, they were using separate bottles to put GHB in people's drinks. She said at the Abbey, they're using glasses pre-coated with GHB. So she said that they
So
have,
scary.
that's where they have the separate glasses.
Oh my God.
And she said essentially that these billionaires are using bars as a front to serve the elite. Now,
the elite.
here's something even weirder.
What? How can you get weirder than that? First of all, you know what else too? The Scientology, but like we won't get into that because that's a whole nother
God.
thing. But like honestly, everything you're explaining, I got into the Scientology world. But okay, go ahead.
Oh my God, we should do a whole episode on it.
Honestly,
You know, I was close friends with a girl and didn't know that she was a Scientologist, and she was deep into it. Never mentioned it to me. We worked together. We hung out outside of work. Like, we were close. And then she starts dating this guy. So obviously your friend starts dating a guy. You're like, let me see his Instagram. So we're like creeping on his Instagram, and I see all over his Instagram, Scientology. And I'm like, girl, you cannot date this man. And so I'm like, do you know nothing about Scientology? And she's like, no, I know nothing about it. So I went into a rant about L. Ron Hubbard being a meth addict, how Scientology was a science fiction novel before it became a religion, how in his journals he literally wrote that the only way to make money is to make a religion, to make a cult. Like, he was a psychopath, and like,
Isolation.
It's a cult.
Grooming.
Anyways, long story long, I get in this like whole argument with her about her dating this guy, and come to find out she was a fucking Scientologist.
She was?
Yes. And then I found out she had me going.
great.
She had me going to the fucking dentist. It was a Scientology dentist. Yes. She's like, oh, go to work. Go to the dentist my sister works at. Her sister used to be Leah Remini's personal assistant. Crazy shit.
Yeah, I would like.
I'm already on a list, probably. She told someone like, oh, Julie's a suppressive person.
A what?
That's what they label you when you are a person who like doesn't like Scientology. They're like, oh, that's a suppressive person. Like, I'm like a person. I'm like a lost soul on this earth. I'm a lostitute. Shout out to Stunna Girl.
Shout out to
Stunna Girl for Lostitute. Killed me. We'll talk about that.
Dead. Yo, Stunna Girl is the baddest baddie.
Yeah,
of
we
all
love
the
her.
baddies.
We love her. We'll talk about that shortly.
Okay,
That
but
tweet
wait.
destroyed me.
Rewind back to the Abbey because we will get to Scientology a whole nother day because.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what's interesting. So David Cooley is the guy that owns the Abbey and the chapel, or owned, because he in January. He just stepped down as owner 3 days ago.
Okay.
He stepped down as owner. He's no longer the owner. But this got announced, like he put the Abbey up for sale in January.
Okay.
The same week that David Cooley put the Abbey up for sale. So Mario Valera is the Roosterfish owner. And Roosterfish was the other bar where those girls had a lawsuit that people were being drugged. Guess where Mario Valera is now opening a brand new Roosterfish location?
The Abbey.
No, the old pump. Right next door to the Abbey.
Scary.
But literally the same week
That's crazy.
that this other billionaire who is being, or I don't know if he's a billionaire, but this other wealthy man who is being accused of using his restaurant for a sex trafficking front is opening up that same restaurant in the space next to the Abbey, and it got, all of that happened the same week, him purchasing the new space, David Cooley putting the Abbey up for sale. Isn't that odd? Like, I just think that's bizarre.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
And isn't it ironic?
Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think about that.
That's, I mean, you know.
Because, you know, it could all just be a big coincidence.
It could be a big coincidence, but it's like, honestly, like, I've seen, like, ever since that happened with my ex, I saw that. I was just like, wait, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, and you just see how accessible it is. And then it's like all these stories that we've been talking about, like you talk about Diddy or what could be happening over at Zeus, and you're like, okay, so now what? Can't go on a reality TV show no more. You can't go out and party and dance no more. Like, gee, what are we supposed to do?
We can't have anything nice, literally.
Can't have anything nice.
This is why we
guys.
can't have nice things.
You can't. Because you know why? We can't because people are crazy.
Oh, wait. Jada just texted me. I also need the viewers to know that last week I kept applying the NYX Duck Plump lip gloss and it burned my lips off, and that's why I kept touching my lips during the whole episode because I was in pain.
Did they make your lips plumper though?
I feel like they look really good. Like even a week later, which they're still burning.
Slang. Oh, Jada's calling.
Yay! Hi, honey. You look beautiful.
Hi. Thank you. I feel like this light is washing me out. Is it?
No, you look great.
Okay.
You look stunning and
Mamas.
gorgeous.
Thank you, boo boos. What does your hat say?
Can I bomb a cig?
I love it. I fucking love it.
What up, Jada?
Did you watch our
Let's
last episode yet?
I have not. I fucking
Yes,
suck.
we
My
shout you
son
out.
is so much. I took
You
him to
were
the
our
city
official
yesterday. I was
sponsor.
exhausted.
Oh my god.
You were our official sponsor yesterday.
You were our
Nice.
sponsor because we smoked those Stizzy blunts that you gave me, and we
Which-
got so high.
Did you like
I'll tell you
them?
exactly what they
Yeah.
were. Stizzy, 40 blunts, and biscotti. That was so we shout you out like 85 times during the last episode because we were so high that we couldn't function. So
I love it.
it was really funny.
How long have you guys been doing the podcast?
This is our second episode.
Oh, this is awesome.
We're trying to get it together.
Yeah.
Slow and
Good. I
steady.
love this.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Oh my God, how are you?
I'm good.
How's
I am.
mom life?
It's a lot. It's great, you know, I love it, but my son is a lot. I spoiled him in the beginning, not realizing, and I ran to like every cry. So, yeah, he's at my neck all day, like, mom, 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 what's this? What's this? And I'm just like,
I love it.
Okay.
yeah, it's good though.
Yeah.
I saw you. You have the weed business with the
Yeah.
van, with the cute little van, the weed van.
Yeah, so we take the bus out in the summer to like Smorgasburg Food Festival.
Oh, cute.
and
We have
then
that here too.
Yeah. So we have it in Williamsburg. I don't know if you're familiar. It's every year. So we pull up at the park summer times, and then winter, you know, we just operate as a delivery service.
That's so cool.
It's done
cool.
really well. You know, I don't know if you guys know what's going on in New York. It's like the gray market right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
there are
guys
like
can
a lot of people waiting on licenses and whatnot. So there's a shit ton of smoke shops on like every block.
Yeah, the last time I went to New York City, which was a while ago, like in the city proper, like they had that Delta 8 everywhere.
Ugh.
Or like Delta whatever. It's like not real weed.
It's
not real.
Yes.
Or Delta 9. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Catnip.
yeah, because like MedMen, you had to have like a medical card at the time. So
Yeah.
maybe it's changed now, but I know that it was like kind of shifting in New York.
It's the Wild West right now. The mayor's trying to shut down all the shops, but it's not working.
What
Oh
a
my god.
loser and a fucking hater. Boo.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of like I get where he's coming from because the licensed shops aren't doing good because
Mm.
there's so many underground shops. So it's taking
Mm.
from the people that were licensed. I get it, but
Yeah.
do it. You got to do something to get the shops closed down, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, what is it like looking back like towards your BGC days, like, choosing to go on reality television and then now you're a mom, like what's kind of like your perception of how you took that?
I've always, like, honestly, it was such a learning experience for me because I did not realize when I went on TV how I perceived myself a different way than people perceived me. And so it took to
Mhm.
see myself on camera to realize like I didn't like who I saw at all. I didn't
Mhm.
like how I behaved, how I talked, my hot-headedness. So I took it as a chance to work on myself. And I mean, it's been an up and down ride since then, but truly the biggest thing that changed me was having my son in
Mhm.
2021. I have totally humbled myself and I look at the world so different, but everybody's experience is different. The trauma is still there for sure. The
Mhm.
PTSD is still there every day, and unbelievably, the show's following is so huge that I'm still recognized anytime I go outside,
Mhm.
and it automatically like hits me.
Mhm.
Even if it's a good like interaction, I'm just over there like, but
Completely.
Wait, can I
yeah.
ask, like, how do you, I think it's so interesting, like dealing with anxiety, and what have you learned throughout the years to kind of like deal with that, because it still affects you. So what are some tools that you've kind of built up?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm a big pothead. I do a lot of self-reflecting during that time. Yeah, so I have a lot of self-reflecting, talking to self moments. Like even today, dealing with my son, trying to be more patient. I'm always like talking to myself. But as far as BGC, it's really difficult in that aspect because you stepped into something a lot of us didn't realize what we were going to walk away feeling like.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
me, certainly, I had no idea how big of a following that show had
Mhm.
at all. I was so naive. So leaving it was definitely hard. There was a moment in time when I first left that I didn't want to leave the house. I wouldn't go out. I
Mhm.
wouldn't go to the store. I wouldn't go anywhere. I just stayed home because I was so scared of getting recognized.
Mhm.
I mean, I went to Houston with Asia and I got jumped in a parking lot by
Yeah,
a
I
bunch of
saw.
boys. Like it was a lot of traumatic things that happened the years following.
Yeah.
And it truly doesn't stop. People, you know, when people recognize you and they don't like
Mhm.
you because they just stare at you and they're kind of like,
Mhm.
mm,
Mm.
I went through that experience a lot. Like I've been talking a lot about, and I'm sure you can resonate with this, Jada, like how people will shit on reality TV people and they'll say like, "Oh, well you complain about reality TV, but then you keep going back." And it's like, "Try to find a job after doing a show." Like because
that's
literally like all the time like at work, like I was thankful enough that I was like able to get jobs or whatever, but I would be at work and like I could tell when people recognized me. I could tell when people were talking shit or like telling other people who I was. Like you know what I mean? And it's like who wants to deal with that? Like we're already traumatized. We already have friggin' PTSD. We're trying to move on with our lives and we can't.
Mm.
Like no one else gets that experience. They don't.
no, and you won't get it until you're in it. I was
Completely.
almost like embarrassed, and this is so shallow of me to think today, but
Mhm.
when I left that show, you have all this pressure to keep the momentum, and you know,
Completely.
everybody's like, "Where's your next show? When's the
What are
next
you
Yeah.
this?" And there's all
doing?
this
Yeah.
pressure. So you almost feel insignificant and small if you have to go out there and apply for a job like you
Completely.
used to.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I got lucky. I got jobs and it was great,
That
but
is so
I
wow.
lost jobs
No,
because people would
yeah.
find out and then
Mhm.
Google me
Yeah.
and I would lose the job. And at that point, I didn't even know I had the opportunity to initiate lawsuits. I was so
Mhm. Yeah.
naive. I was just like, damn, again. And I just start all over again.
It sucks so bad. Or you get a job, but you find that you don't advance like your peers do, and you
Hmm.
know that that's the reason why. Like you
Or
know that
people
you. Yeah, like you have like a
Sorry.
stain on you. You have like a scarlet letter on you. Like,
Yeah.
because
People have a perception.
perception.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you were on
They
TV.
think they know
you were on
you.
TV,
They
so like
think-
you must have all
exactly.
this money. You must have this whole lifestyle.
Oh, that. Oh,
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I wish.
Well, a lot of girls honestly don't make it easy for us because they leave the show and they do things that other girls wouldn't do for money, and they act like the money is coming from, you know, the entertainment industry because they made it, but in all actuality they're like hooking up with Johns, you know, like,
Completely. Yes.
so they make you feel like you're not measuring up because you're just doing regular shit you did before the show.
Right. I know. That is like one thing that's really interesting with the BGC world is like, or just reality TV in general, because it's not even limited to like BGC and baddies. Like I know that BGC and baddies gets like brought up a lot in that conversation, but it's all types of reality TV because
Yeah.
everybody feels this pressure to like keep up with this image or this persona of celebrity. And like we're on TV, so we're making money, but none of us are. We're really not. And it just puts people in a position to be preyed upon completely.
Weak positions. You feel like you have to keep up. And
Well,
it's
so,
kind of
like-
hard. Once you leave BGC, I mean, there's not a lot of anything that's going to be like, oh, yes, we want you.
Right.
Well,
Like,
exactly
what?
that.
You acted a whole ass.
I know, and that's what's like so amazing to see with like House of Villains, like calling ex Bad Girls, like Tanisha, Camila, like whatever. I have my, you know, my own feelings about Camila, but like it's good to see like people from BGC getting called to do shows outside of like Zeus Network because
Oh, yeah.
like I feel like a lot of us like just did not get opportunities 1000% because of that show.
No, there was definitely a stain on it. And
Yeah.
like, but Jada, with you, do you feel like when you were on BGC, did you ever feel like pressured by producers, like
In what respect?
to like be a certain character or be persuaded to treat someone a certain way or kind of act a certain way? Did you ever feel like you were ever rewarded for bad behavior?
So I feel like my experience was wildly different than a lot of girls because I walked into that house without really realizing what I was getting into. I had never watched BGC, so I was just myself and people hated me, and the producers saw that, and I think that they were maybe egging other girls on to act out more against me.
Yeah.
But they were getting from me exactly what they needed. They
Exactly.
needed
So knowing
somebody
your
for the house to
reaction.
hate.
Yeah.
And I reacted.
No,
So-
that's like they pick out like the people that are going to be the button pushers and the people whose buttons they're going to push.
Okay.
They
one
separate
thing-
the house into those two categories, and the people who are going to be the button pushers are the people that they go to and egg on in a different way. They egg the, like, because
for
that
sure.
was me. They go and egg you on and say, oh, you're the star of the show, and oh, you're our favorite,
Right.
and oh, you're so much smarter than everybody, and oh, you're this. And then the girls that are having a hard time with the rest of the house, they fuel that fire. They do it on purpose.
I noticed a huge I seen how things played out differently when I did season 13 because on season 12 I kept wanting to leave. Like I was so fed up with dealing with shit, and the producers would beg me to stay. You're stronger than this, please don't go. We want you to make it to the end, right? Season 13 came and some shit happens and I was like, I'm done, I want to go. And they were like, okay, bye.
Oh my God, Sam, on season 13, they
Like they
literally-
needed me to stay on season 12.
Yeah.
Because without me there was nobody to pick on. But on season 13, they were like, you know what? If you leave, we'll just bring somebody else to stir this shit up.
Totally. I think they actually, like, I think the whole no fighting rule, how they, like, really stress the no fighting thing, is because they really thought people weren't going to be able to help themselves and that more people were going to get kicked out. And that they were going to cycle through a bunch of bad girls, and they weren't able to do that. And I think season 13 was just like a wash. Like, I think whatever plan they had for that season, we fucking ruined. Because literally, the producers came to me and they were like, we think maybe you should go home. Like, oh yeah, they wanted me to go home.
Not they asked you.
Because
What?
they wanted me to go home because I wouldn't meet with a life coach. I wouldn't start any fights. I wouldn't do any of the shit they were asking me to do.
They wanted Julie from your season.
Yeah, 100%. And like, bitch, that benefited me 0%. Like, yeah, I listened to everything you guys said, and guess what? I was getting, just like Jada described, fucking jumped in public by like feral fucking lunatic people. I literally had people drag me out from a fucking bathroom stall to fight me. I'm like, why do you want to fight someone who markedly cannot fight?
I always found that wild to me because, you know, you go on TV and people really think they know you. Like, from those short clips, they like wrap you into a little ball. They're like, this is you. And there's so many more layers to people.
Completely. And even like I described to people, and I don't think people realize that I know every season films for like a different amount of time, but our season filmed for 3 months. We filmed our season 9 was almost 3 months. It was like 2 months and 3 weeks of filming.
How long was yours, Jada?
I think it was around 2.5 months as well.
Yeah, like 2.5, 3 months. So,
but if they get what they want in less, they're deading it.
They don't
want to spend
money.
Yes.
Oh.
They don't want to spend all the extra money. That's why they
never tell you. They never say to you, "Oh, we wrap this date," or like, "This is how long it's going to be." You go into it completely blind. Like every season, like All-Star Battle, because All-Star Battle we only filmed for a couple weeks, but they didn't tell us that. They said, we don't know when where it's going to film till we're not filming. That's it. You have no fucking idea. So, but I say to people, like, it films for 3 months, and then the total amount of episodes is 13 episodes. So think about that. Each episode, and this was on TV, not a fucking app. It was on real TV, on television.
Not an app.
Not an app.
National fucking cable, man.
National fucking television, okay? And so not only are you having the episode, but then you're having commercials. So that's 40-minute episodes. You get 13 episodes. So let's say, so you're getting 12 hours total of 3 months. Yeah. And making a determination about a person based on 12 total hours of a 3-month period cut into 12. Oh, my headphones, I lost them. Cut into 12 hours.
There you go, plug it in.
It's literally insane.
Yeah, people don't get it. They don't realize that you're filming 24 hours a day, and they're clipping together what they think is going to get ratings.
Whatever the fuck they want. Whatever the fuck they want. And that's why they get into your head and they spin it a certain way, because they're like, okay, we have this amount of clips. We can piece this clips together and make this storyline. So let's ease it that way.
But
I think they have like several storylines, and they feel like whatever one is going to work best.
Completely. It's like Mad Libs. Or Choose Your Own Adventure. Not Mad Libs. Choose Your Own Adventure. Like,
and you never know where we're going to go.
Mad Libs. I haven't heard of that in so long.
Wait, and it'd be so crazy too, like because people like now it's on like Tubi, so people can watch it now, full on episodes, and it's like it's brutally awful. Like
we're reliving it. I have people who are seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know.
You have to relive it. Like right now, people in other countries hit me up and they're like, "I'm seeing your season for the first time," and I'm just like, "What?"
When they dropped my season on Hulu, I had a panic attack at work. No, literally, because I started getting, because no one gave a shit about me for like years. And I like basically disappeared. And no, literally, I was like literally standing at work and fucking all of a sudden it was like 50 Instagram comments. And I was like, what in the fuck is going on? And then I went to Instagram and it was all people who had just watched the show. It was like the fucking day it dropped.
Yeah, you relive it.
I had a panic attack. I had to go home.
Girl. I feel it. But you went on, Jada, you did the OnlyFans BGC thing, and then you went with Natalie over to Zeus with the conversation, right? So then you like low-key had a new resurgence from this spinoff. What was the fans' reaction kind of like when they go back to that, when you guys first started talking about doing the like OnlyFans show? Was it a positive reaction?
They were really excited. Yeah, we were all really excited to bring back all BGC girls together and kind of build our own project. OnlyFans is a great platform to run a series, and we did phenomenal in about 3 months. There was a shit ton of money in that account that, we were able to split, and we did really well. I wanted to see it through. I think that it was just the beginning for us, and had girls really stuck together, that project would be ours still, and we would all be working together.
What do you feel like for you was the biggest, because you guys did that obviously. Then Zeus, I watched the Tasha K interview, and you talk about how then Zeus was, coming into film like it was supposed to be a trailer for the conversation, right?
Well, initially, how it went down is we all were Zoom calling up until the point we all went to Atlanta in October of 2020. And it was brought to our attention, I believe, when we got there, that Natalie had some connections with Zeus. And she was trying to explain to us that they were going to come and just be there. Initially they were just going to be there to see
Like
how we
scouting. They were
were.
scouting.
Yeah, to see if it was something they wanted to get involved in.
Okay.
And initially I was like, we don't I think a few of us were like, we don't really need them.
Right.
Let's do this on our own. Like, we had hired our own film crew, we had hired our own security, we were ready to
Who
go, and
was,
we had people.
sorry to interrupt you, who
Mhm.
was
It's
Team
okay.
Zeus and who was Team No Zeus? Just out of curiosity.
So I was definitely not team Zeus 100%. I was
Mm.
willing to listen
But you
and,
were on the
maybe
fence.
I was on the fence, and I tried to explain that to other girls. I believe Sarah was on the fence.
Okay.
Rocky was on the fence, but it's hard to decipher with them because also
Yeah.
I feel like they were kind of Team Zeus. We got into like this little tiff about the conversation about how much we were gonna get paid, and I was like, absolutely not. No, like
Okay.
we totally can get more, and everybody disagreed with me. Like there was no like team there. It's
So
Yeah.
like
were you?
everybody was going different directions, and a lot of people envy Natalie, whereas
Mm.
I don't envy anyone. So the people that really envy Natalie and like are up under her butthole, they definitely were going along with whatever she said.
I,
Despite their arguing and nonsense that they tried to do, they were definitely going with Zeus.
Yeah.
that was my question. Like, what was your mindset going into the project with Natalie? Like, were you guys cool at the time? Like, I know a lot of girls are.
Yeah, like how did you guys, because I know you had DM'd me when you guys were like getting the group together.
I so wanted you. You're hilarious. I thought your personality would have been phenomenal.
I love you. Um, Thank God though that I didn't, because I would have literally went and had a mentee beat on Natalie.
Honestly,
No, but
I'll be
so
honest. I had no idea what I was walking into with Natalie. I don't know if you guys know this, but like the first day in the house, she started a fight with me over the room. And without thinking, I'm literally livid and we get into a fight and I'm ready to go. I go upstairs, I tell my brother who was there to do editing for us that I'm ready to go. She comes upstairs and she was like, Jada, and gives me a hug and she was like, that's gonna make us so much money. And I'm just like confused as fuck because I didn't know that about her then as much as other people may have, that she really like does stuff just for the
yeah,
camera, and
for the
like
camera,
she knows.
she's
I'll give it to
calculated.
her, she knows how to play things for the camera. Like she is a character
But
in
the
real
thing
time all the
is,
time.
right? But the thing is, right, is like there are shows where they are like orchestrated fights like that, right? Like I've heard allegations that a lot of the fights on Love and Hip Hop were
Mm-hmm.
staged, fights on
Oh,
Housewives have been staged. But the thing is like if you're gonna do that, the other person has to be in on it. You don't just physically assault someone and then afterward go up to them and be like, "Oh my god, that was fun."
it happened twice like that with
Unless
her,
it's in
and
WWE.
both. It happened twice. After the conversation, I was completely fucking done because she was trying to tell people I was like on coke and I was a coke
Oh,
head, and I was just over it because yeah, they'll blame the skinny bitch for being the coke head,
Yeah,
right?
but also it's
So
like
I
hot meat kettle. Have you guys seen videos of Natalie like out in LA when TMZ catches up with her fucking scary ass?
oh my God, yeah, with the
I know
Fucking
girls were doing coke, and what really bothered me is only one person spoke up on the conversation. Like, if you watch back, there's one person who's like, it was mine. Like, they
mm,
took it. But the other person, to this day, I will never look at them the same because they
mm,
never opened their mouth. They were willing to let
mm.
me take the fall for
Yeah.
their shit, knowing damn well I did not partake with them at all in it.
Yeah.
But I just you see people differently when they do shit like that. But same thing after the conversation, she comes back to the Airbnb and she was like best friends with me. And it's
She
confusing.
is literally deranged. Did you see the thing with Smiley today?
Girl, you know I'm behind on everything.
Oh,
Oh
let
my
me give you
gosh.
the tea. Okay.
It's too much
Give me the tea.
Let me give you the tea. So,
Wait, have you watched Baddies? Like
So
after the whole project, like have you seen a season or
I seen 2 or 3 episodes of the very first season.
the
Only
ATL one?
because the first season I have no idea where they were. It was with Sarah
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
I think
Because I
Judy
feel
was
like that
there.
one was different than the rest of them have been. I feel like that
I
one felt like a setup to be like, this is the last time I'm gonna really use BGC girls, and then it's gonna be this new version of something.
I think Natalie was trying to hold true to her promises to the girls, honestly. I think a
Okay,
piece of her, and I hate to say this with everything that she's done, but I think a piece of her was honestly trying to do right by the girls. I mean, she hit me up
okay,
asking me where I was one day, and I was like, I'm pregnant, I'm in New York, and I never heard from her again. And I realized that if you don't have something that she could get from you,
yeah.
she doesn't
I was going to
she's not
say,
your
like,
friend.
any attempt that Natalie gives at, like, doing right by people or, like, because I've had those moments with her. You know, I did 2 shows with her. So it's like, we didn't get along, but I had moments where it's like the cameras weren't around and she was like, oh, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, she tries to, like, level with you and, like, be a normal
Yeah.
person. And it's totally her just like being a narcissistic predator piece of shit. Like, how can I get one over on this person and convince them that I'm a safe person to be around? And she's not. She
No.
is a fucking asshole. So anyways, Smiley. It's true.
It's
Smiley.
true.
Smiley posts last night. I'm dropping everything on my OnlyFans, and she posts, "Since I'm not getting paid from Zeus, let the show begin." That was last night.
What? Which one is Smiley? I see stuff
Smiley's the
sometimes.
girl on last
This girl, let me
season.
see. I don't know if you can see her.
She allegedly
You
had a
see her?
miscarriage on the show,
I
and they
heard
let her
something about that.
stay,
Okay.
and then she had a
She's a
seizure.
bigger girl?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So she posts the thing about Zeus. Then she posts a video, and it says it's a video of a conversation she recorded with Natalie, where Natalie called her, and this was allegedly the day that Smiley got jumped after she had a miscarriage. And in this recorded phone call, Natalie is saying, you need to come to the house now, like, blah, blah, blah. If you don't come, you're going to get a bad edit. There's going to be, like, legal repercussions, like, all this crazy shit. And then the caption says, the day I went and got jumped on, I wanted to stay in bed. Natalie called me to get up and go over to the crib. I felt so sick from the miscarriage. I wanted to stay in bed, but they made me go. That's why I looked like that. I was being threatened with the feds and police. I wanted to leave the show, but every time I was threatened. I guess you have to be careful because if they get mad and you don't fall in line, they will have you looking some type of way.
They threatened her to come back?
Yes, knowing she had a miscarriage. She literally was in the hospital, had a fucking miscarriage, and then they forced her, allegedly, but according to this, she recorded the phone call and posted it. So listen, but wait, Jada, it gets crazier, right? Let's just wait. So then Natalie comments on her post of the recorded phone call and then immediately deleted it. Comments on the post. Lies, girl, cut it out. All you do is scam and lie. This was when you ran off and
The
sat
kettle?
around. What'd you say?
The kettle, the black, the
No,
wet.
the pot, the kettle, who's who. We
Yeah,
don't know.
all that.
Um,
Oh, man.
Lies, girl, cut it out. All you do is scam and lie. This was when you ran off and sat around lying for days. Like, Smiley, find someone else to play with. Head over to Now That's TV. We don't care. You sit up there lying daily and you're mad because you didn't come back. So this is the interesting factoid that we're going to get into. Let's get into it. You are mad because you didn't come back this season and was only invited to Lemmy's party. Girl, we don't care. Okay. Here's why that's
Lemmy's
odd.
party.
Let's get into the timeline. So,
Oh, boy.
Do you have the timeline?
Ooh, April 5th.
Pull up the timeline. Okay. On April
Yo, you guys
5th,
are good.
You thought we were playing. Okay.
Smiley posted that picture with Diddy.
On April 5th, Smiley posted a pic with Diddy.
And it doesn't say where they were, so could be.
Hold on.
Could
Is
be.
this the same party that girl fuck, I love her. What
Oh.
Jayla? Jayla, the girl that
one-
flipped.
God damn it. She was the baby with blue face. Why can't I remember her damn
Oh,
name?
Krishan.
Yes, I love her. I can't believe
No,
I
this
forgot
is
her
a
name.
different occasion.
No, this was Lemmy's birthday like last week, girl. This was like last week.
Oh.
So get this. Okay, so on April 5th, Smiley posts a picture on Instagram with Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
The caption says, "We outside, I ain't folding for $250K." Writes a bunch of shit in the comments about his blackout parties are the best. And then we investigated the photo, and in the photo, you can see in the very like top corner that they're on FaceTime because you see like somebody's like shirt and chain in the corner. Okay, so
it looks like someone screenshotted a picture.
screenshotted a FaceTime. So that was on
Of
April.
her at the party.
We don't know if she was at the party, but
Just
she
anywhere.
posted a
She's
picture
somewhere
with
with
Diddy.
Diddy.
She's somewhere with Diddy and posted a photo on April 5th. Okay. And notably blocked out her outfit. Like she put a giant like emoji over her outfit so you can't see what she's wearing. That was on April 5th, which I thought was so weird. That was on April 5th. On April 7th, so 2 days later, Jayla tweets all this stuff about how Zeus, how Lemmy called her all types of bitches, how Lemmy told security to leave her, how she's going to expose everything when she, quote, gets somewhere safe. Okay, so she tweets all that. That was on April 7th. On April 9th, Lemmy tweets out a flyer for his birthday party at Disco Club in...
Well, he didn't tweet that out, but that
Or
flyer
sorry, not
was
tweet.
out in
He
his-
put it on his Instagram story,
Yeah.
I think. That's
Yeah.
where it was from. Yeah.
But the date of his party was April 9th.
April 9th was the date of his birthday party. So basically, Smiley posts a picture with Diddy on April 5th. Then Lemmy's party is on April 9th. And then today, Natalie posts, "Smiley, you're mad because you weren't on Baddies Caribbean. We only invited you to Lemmy's party." So Smiley and Diddy were together on April 5th. And then a few days later was Lemmy's party. And we know that Smiley was at Lemmy's party.
So what were they doing? What were they doing on April 5th together?
That's what
That's what we would like to know.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, it could have been maybe she was at the airport in
and
Miami.
ran into him.
Maybe she was at the airport in Miami.
Maybe.
And maybe she was like, oh,
Because
my God,
Diddy's
Diddy, I
just
wanna take a
walking through the
picture.
airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were, maybe it was
It's
a
odd.
couple months ago.
You know, when I met Lemmy and was around him for that week or so, he was a quiet young man. Very quiet. Not a lot of words.
Those
so
are the
it's
ones you
very
gotta watch
like
out for.
he must have gotten very comfortable in his position with these women that he feels it's okay to treat them this way now because he
Completely.
never acted out that way around us.
But
Wait.
that's every
Home.
abusive man ever.
No,
like
but-
every abusive man they make themselves seem so safe in the beginning. And then as soon as they have you,
Yeah.
whether that's they can blackmail you, whether you now live with them, whether they have a kid with you now, whether they have a ring, whatever it is, they have something to keep
They're
you.
comfortable.
Once they get you in that way, that's when they unleash and become abusive.
So wait, what was the energy like? Like, okay, when you did the conversation, you guys slept at a house, right?
We slept at our Airbnb that we all paid
Okay.
for.
wow.
He rented an alternate home to do that filming for the conversation. I have recordings, I think, still from back then of like a meeting we had in our own Airbnb where we were all discussing the possibility of an opportunity with Zeus, and we all, that's why I think one or more, I think Sarah also recorded the conversation just to have, because we just didn't really fully believe that what they were saying was true. But during that whole time he was pretty respectful and he seemed like a straight shooter. Like he was really interested in bringing us on as co-producers and cast of this, baddies on his network.
Was
And
it
I
really
believe
just
that
him, or were there any other like head producers or?
there was, I think
Okay.
his name was Darnell or Darvile, his one of his really close friends. This
And
guy, so
what about the white guy Mark and then
Mark
Matt,
Mark
Chabal.
Chabal? Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so there was a guy. His name was Mark Chabal,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was a producer, and he like mysteriously died. And in his
what?
IMDb, he was an older white guy. And in
He
his
wasn't there.
IMDb, it says he worked on that season. That's what's so weird.
Okay, then so you didn't see
He
it.
worked on what season?
It shows on IMDb that he worked on The
The
Conversation
conversation.
and Baddies
You know,
ATL.
maybe he was there where there was a lot of film people and a lot of people off to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
side while we were filming. But in general, the people that were there like every day was like Lemmy, Darrell, this white boy Matt, and some of the film crew people.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
And then what was
but
like security like? Like how many did you guys have? Like I don't know if you've seen now, but like now it's like they have like a literally like militia, like army that
oh,
is.
they had security for the conversation, I believe, but like I don't remember them doing too much. I know me and Natalie fought. They must have broken it up.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like
But it
a
didn't feel
daze
like an
back then.
intimidating experience to you.
No,
Okay.
I mean, not for me. Nothing really intimidates me too much.
Yeah, no, because I just kind of like want to paint. I'm trying to paint the picture of like where, because I've noticed like watching all these different shows on Zeus, like there's like these repetitive patterns, and then these stories come out, and it's like I'm trying to like really piece together. We're
Mm-hmm.
trying to piece together like this timeline of where did it kind of the content
Where
kind of
did it
shift.
devolve?
Yeah,
You
You
mean
know?
because
for what?
Like, where did it? Because, okay, Gia, like, when
Where
you
did it
see.
go wrong?
Yeah. Like, because when you see clips now, it's like horrific. It's horrendous. It's like
yeah,
unacceptable. Like, it's
Well,
disgusting.
I've heard a lot of things that are going on, and it's probably Natalie like egging on these situations. And because it's working for their ratings, they're probably allowing her to run rampant with these cast members to stir shit up.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I
And
mean,
isn't she a producer also? So she's probably definitely working in overdrive
yeah, but it's
to get
also
things
like
stirred up.
illegal. It's also so illegal, which I've taught. I know I cannot shut up about it, but it is
Sign
like
the
so
petition.
illegal for her to be an executive producer and doing this shit and like putting hands on talent and like orchestrating
It's so
fights.
cringe.
It's
Beyond elite, it's so
horrible.
cringe to see. Why would you not want to be a producer? Why do you want to get your hands dirty?
No,
I
exactly. Like,
can't wrap my mind around
because
it.
she needs to be the star too, because she's completely fried in the brain.
Then she
Like,
should totally talk to them about getting her own like show of something. Like,
I
don't she have
know.
a family? Like they could do the Pains,
Don't you
whatever, the
have a
House of
family?
Pain.
No, because
I don't fucking know.
she takes a break. That's what she
Well,
said.
Stop.
it
She
would
just,
be
did you see
dramatic. It
the?
would be interesting, I'm sure. She cheats on her husband left and right. I'm sure it would be a
Yeah.
really entertaining show.
Well, we were saying our last episode that we did, we were like, we know that it's probably eating her up the
Oh,
fuck alive that Rolly got her own show before Natalie did. They gave
Did
Rolly,
she?
Broly,
yes,
yeah.
girl, they gave Rolly her own show.
Mm-hmm.
I love that for her.
Yes,
I've
it's
been
great
watching
for
her
her.
beauty transformation, and if you know
That's
going
what
into
it's
plastic
about.
surgery can be very freaking scary. So what
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's getting done, like that takes a lot.
right. So they're doing a show about it, which like
Oh,
congratulations, great for her. But like
She
I
made
know
it.
Natalie is punching the fucking
Seething.
air
Yep.
like inside her heart.
yeah, but it's like the same game. It's the same shit with her. Like there's no substance. Like I've never seen her like sit down and really like be real so that people can like it's just always rah rah rah. It's not like you can like have a heart to heart with Natalie or she could be like a normal
No.
person you could relate to. It's
Mm-mm.
just always rah 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 and drama.
Hmm.
Especially when there's a camera around. That's for sure. Let me ask you this. So, obviously, lots of rumors about Natalie being like a madam. Obviously, lots of rumors
Oh
of
yeah.
Natalie encouraging, if not forcing, girls into sleeping with production for her own personal gain, which is literally sex trafficking. It's literally her using people's labor, sexual labor, using people's bodies to benefit herself. Regardless. So we know that those rumors are around. I know from living in LA that she has been doing that even outside of baddies for years, with fans, with
I'm sure.
friends, with whoever. Oh, come on a trip with me. And then you get on the trip and it's like, you know what fucking time it is. And listen, JD, you know me. Like, I'm all about, like, make your money however you have to make it. I have literally no problem with sex workers whatsoever. But from your perspective, and I know that you were there really like before Zeus fully stepped in. But from your perspective, was Natalie giving you guys that energy of all of like, you guys need to do this so that you guys need to do X so that we can get Y? Like, was that kind of the attitude?
I know firsthand that there was one specific person that she was really hard on to do certain things so that Lemmy would be more open to stay.
Okay, I know who you're
And
talking
obviously, I'm not gonna say any
No,
names,
it's
but
their story to tell.
this person, it's out there, you know,
Yeah,
it's out there.
completely.
But
Yeah,
they were
And everyone,
already
please
in.
respect that.
exactly.
ev-
And we all respect
the
that.
young lady was already in a super vulnerable position when she
Yes.
came to Atlanta. They
Yeah.
they knew that. They preyed on it and they exploited it. I remember many times Natalie getting so pissed off at us because we weren't doing what she needed us to do so that Zeus would take. This was everything to her. Like, she needed this
Yeah.
to work. And anybody out there, like, I know Sarah's been milking this shit for the last 4 fucking years.
Okay, but her
Like,
thing was really detailed, and
She records everything, bro. I would be so scared to be friends with Sarah for the sheer fact that you know every
I
conversation
pay-
you have is
No,
going into a
but that's-
fucking archive in her house.
so Sarah records everything, but she's also like Oxygen and Bunim and Murray, where
and
she
paints it
clips
her
shit
way.
together how
She
she wants
edits.
to portray a certain thing. For instance, I know this because me and Shannon and Sarah were up one night late drunk. And Sarah told me and Shannon that there were condoms underneath of Natalie's bed. Or no, she wanted to take the condoms out of the trash that Natalie had in her room and put them under the bed and film something to make it look like Natalie had condoms under her bed.
Like condoms with semen in them, or like
Oh,
Right. I guess she'd slept
oh,
with somebody
whoa,
there,
whoa.
one of the producers.
Oh,
And she
Lord
wanted me and
have
Shannon to
mercy.
set this up. So I don't know if that's on whatever she's selling to you guys, but I know that she edited it to make
She
it
said
look
whatever
like
she's selling.
we thought of this all on our own. Like, let's go in Natalie's room and find condoms. Like, no, that's
Yeah,
not how it happened.
There's a clip,
I'm
and it's like
tired, actually.
watch Jada and I find condoms in the trash.
No,
I'm
Oh,
dead.
that was
that's
fake.
that's not how it happened. And I'm so tired of
That's
her
annoying.
twisting this narrative, and people believe it because they're like, oh, but Sarah's got receipts. No, Sarah is a master fucking manipulator. And she swears that like this was her baby, this was her project, that she thought of this. She didn't think of this. This was Natalie. Okay. She brought you on and it didn't work out. But now you're mad and you're trying to milk it for the last 4 years. She sold my nudes on her OnlyFans.
Oh
She
yeah,
made
I heard that.
profit off of our bodies. Like, is she delusional?
Wait, so what was? Did you see anything? Because honestly, the conversation is where her and Sarah started, where Natalie and Sarah started, like,
Going back and forth.
yeah, like that's where their friendship really started breaking. Like, and I
my
feel
pen.
like Sarah comes across like a very, like, when she's in that heated moment, like she's gonna blurt everything.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember her saying anything?
I also
like,
feel like Sarah got kicked off Zeus for that exact reason, because Sarah is the type that she's gonna record everything. She's gonna put everything in.
Dude, she's annoying. She's annoying as fuck. She's like the grumpy old lady. She doesn't know how to have fun. She doesn't know how to loosen up. She walks around with a stick up her fucking ass. Or she's got no personality whatsoever. She's just a stick with an ass. That's it.
God.
And it's annoying how she walks around acting like she's like this baddest, most smartest, the most put together. I got all these credit cards and all this, that. Bitch, what?
Oh my God, remember that in Hawaii when we were in the van and she started pulling
Yes,
out her
girl.
credit cards?
She pulled out her wallet and was like, I have 10 credit cards. And I'm like, okay.
And we were like, we don't give a fuck.
It's not that hard to get credit cards, lady.
wait. So I had asked someone, I had
No
asked this
offense,
group,
Sarah.
but they
No,
wanted
fuck
to
that.
know.
Take offense, Sarah.
How did you feel when you saw that video of Sarah claiming she stole Natalie's watch?
Oh, and so that's another thing. Sarah flip-flops about that because she knows there was never no watch. Like, we had a conversation about that. But she has no spine when Natalie's around to speak up about it. She literally,
Yeah.
she'll just go along with Natalie. That's the most annoying thing, too. I noticed about two different people at my time in Atlanta that I just never looked at the same, and she was one of them. I
Um,
don't respect people who they are one way with on one person and then they're another way with me.
yeah,
Keep it consistent. I'm always consistent with everybody.
you are, and that's why I love you. I have another question for you, and obviously feel free to not answer if you don't feel comfortable. But there was a
Guns blazing.
pew, 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 pew. There was a clip where Natalie is in the kitchen getting either her makeup or hair done, and she makes a comment. I think Sarah recorded it, right? Was it Sarah? Or was
I don't
it
know.
Okay.
Where
She makes a comment about, I'll just say it because it's in the clip, about Lemmy and Christina engaging in some sort of sexual relationship, and says that somebody was like giving Christina a hard time about it, or maybe making a comment like Lemmy shouldn't be sleeping with Christina, like people need to mind their fucking business and not worry about other people we're doing. Do you know who that was about?
Actually don't. It could have been about me. I know a lot of girls are frustrated. I don't know. I I specifically took a very quick liking to Christina because of
Yeah.
certain things we spoke about. I had just lost somebody recently that I knew for a very long time. And, through that we became very close. And
Yeah.
I felt like it was a really odd thing that she was dealing with, the stress of what she was already going through when she got there, and then this pressure from Natalie to be this person with Lemmy, and she would
Yeah.
not show up back at the house. Like, she wasn't staying at the house many nights. She would stay at the hotel with Lemmy, and we were trying to do our own thing. Like, we were trying to film our OnlyFans project, but the girls were never at the house
Right, you were
together,
all
and it just,
separate. So
yeah, it
how
just
do you
seems like
film?
Natalie was trying to not really make content for our OnlyFans. She was more
Because
so
it
trying to
wasn't
do the
about that.
Zeus.
It was about
It was never about that.
sexually. It was about sexually recruiting Zeus. It was about her saying, okay, and this is how I feel about it from an outside perspective. She rounded up a bunch of bad girls that she knew would be down to do OnlyFans content. So these are women who are down to do sex work to some degree, who are
Right.
gonna, you're gonna do like sexy, like interact with each other, topless, lingerie, sexy, whatever. So she finds women that to some degree are comfortable doing sex work and being on OnlyFans, and then once you get there, says, no, actually, we're trying to get a show now, and you need to do XYZ. So that's trafficking. From the very,
Yeah.
very beginning, it was all about her saying to this man, I'm sure she went to him separately, like
I
on the
can't
low,
even imagine the conversations.
and was like, watch, I can get these girls, I'm telling you, I can get them to do whatever the fuck I tell them to do. I know her. I know that's what she said. I can bring you girls and get them to fuck you.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
so she did that with Bad Girls, right? And then, so do you feel like you have an idea of why she, at this point, I feel like, has cut every bad girl out of it, and now she's very selective?
She doesn't need them.
Yeah.
She's realized she doesn't need them, that there's a plethora of girls, reality TV girls, old artists that probably aren't doing the best. There's a ton of girls. Ton of girls. What?
I just
Didn't they
died.
have a rapper on there or something that
Well, they
really
have
hasn't
Asian
been?
Doll. Okay, interesting you bring
Oh
that
my
up.
god, please, I cannot. First
And
of all,
it's no shame. Listen,
No,
it's
not
no
at all.
shame to her, but it's a hard industry, the music industry, and it's hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep that momentum. So
Yeah.
Mariah
it
Lynn.
puts her back in the
Mariah
spotlight
Lynn.
to broadcast her
Yeah.
music.
Right, and honestly, Love and Hip Hop did that for certain
Yes,
people that
completely.
would never have had that.
K
So
Michelle.
yeah, so I
who
get
was
who's
is
killing it right
amazing.
now
Oh,
in
yeah.
country
K
music.
Michelle. I love K Michelle.
Can't sing on me. Okay.
We gonna light some candles tonight. Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I love her.
Yes.
Anyways.
Okay, wait. See, this is why we can't smoke when we do this. Or I can, but whatever. All
I
right,
love
here we go.
it.
Okay. Wait, where were we?
Okay, so we're talking about, because you were saying
No, but what
old
was
rappers.
the timeline?
You were saying old rappers, and you were saying like
Oh,
it
she does
can.
BGC girls. She doesn't need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly. A
Okay,
lot of
but
them are much older. Their lives are different. And I know from my perspective, you could never catch me getting on baddies,
No,
acting a
facts,
fool
same. Yeah,
fighting.
no.
It's
I
not going to
know.
happen. So she knows. Like,
No.
So wait, then the reason you didn't do Baddies ATL was because you were pregnant and
I can only assume so. I
okay.
have,
Okay.
still to this day, it's in my phone. She messages me one line, "Where you at?" And I wrote back. I was like, "I'm in New York. I'm pregnant." And she was like, "Oh, congratulations." And that was like the
And that
last
was
time I
it.
really spoke to her.
Because she couldn't get anything from you anymore.
Yeah, which is fine.
Oh, wow.
Because
And
honestly, there's not a piece of my soul that would ever want to do a project with Natalie.
She's a monster.
so wait, what were your
Yeah.
thoughts on the girls that continued into Baddies ATL? Like obviously we know how you feel about Sarah. But like did you hear like, and we obviously talked about Christina, but then she did the interview with Rocky. And so the last interview I saw you did with Tasha K, you hadn't seen that, or was it not Tasha K, with Rocky? You said you hadn't seen that interview yet. So have you,
Which interview? I'm sorry. Which interview are you
the
talking about?
interview with Christina and Rocky?
Oh yeah, I haven't still to this day
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Oh, then now that's TV
When I tell you
interview.
guys, I'm so behind on things. Like you have to catch me up and like fill
No,
me
but
in.
I love it
No, I
because
get
it's
it.
interesting to me too, because I know like it's hard to escape it, you know, that world. And so I honestly, I nods to you for being
Yeah.
able to like break free from it really. And like,
I think it's easier for me to keep up with baddies because I have nothing to do with baddies.
No kids.
Yeah, well, that too, and no job.
I
No, but I think
have
it's
no
easier.
time.
I think it's easier for me to keep up with baddies, but I could not keep up with BGC. Like people would always come to me and be like, "Julie, did you see this happen with
Oh,
this
yeah.
person?" And for years after, I was like, "No, like I don't keep up with any of it. Like I couldn't. Like it was too close to home."
Yeah,
So I
still to
totally
this
get
day,
that.
people are asking me about baddies. They're like, "Oh, did you see what happened on baddies?" And I'm like,
No.
"Do they not believe me when I tell them I don't watch it? Do they
Jada,
think
it's
I'm like
also
secretly watching it and like I'm just not telling them? Not
it's
happening."
unwatchable. I literally tried to watch it like for research purposes. It is fucking unwatchable. It is so bad. It's so bad. Like there's no plot. Like the editing is terrible.
Oh, really?
Oh
No,
my
I thought they'd have a plot
God.
line.
No, it's
well, no,
so
no,
bad.
wait. They do have a plot. Look, for me, I look
Getting
getting
to
to
the
the bag.
bag.
Like it's giving very much like the Magic School Bus from Hell. Like
so
it's
bad.
giving like we're getting to the bag, and you're like, where is the bag? What is the bag? Not these club appearances.
That
So
Wait,
where
that's what
is?
they like say?
Oh
They
my god,
say that on
yeah.
the show?
What is it?
we're getting to
Shoddy,
the bag.
shoddy.
Baddie shot o'clock.
Yeah, they got baddie shot o'clock is one a slogan,
That's one tagline.
and then that's the other one. And
Getting to the bag.
Getting to the bag. And
What is getting to the bag though?
Where is the bag?
Well, the
It's
bag that
probably
they
in somebody's pants. It's
because that's
plot
the bag they
twist.
talk about on camera.
It's in Lemmy's pants.
Oh,
He is such a scary freak. I hate that you've ever been around him. He literally frightens
Now
me.
that I know everything and like I've heard all these things, I'm just so disgusted because
he's
I've heard
disgusting.
things about him giving people chlamydia.
They
yeah.
call him
And-
Lamidia. The fans call him Lamidia.
And lemon pepper, which
I know they're
he's
like,
he's adapted to that one.
oh, he likes it. I think he got a chain.
Stop, you're lying.
I don't know. I unfollowed him like a few months ago. I was just over it, but he had, I think, back a chain or something. The fans had coined him Lemon Pepper.
He is a fucking freakazoid. Did you
And he's
see-
like this big, bro.
I
Like
know, I know.
literally this
I know.
big.
He DM'd. Okay, so after Jayla went off on Twitter saying she wasn't safe and all this other stuff, she filmed, or like I think she posted an apology video specifically to Lemmy on her Instagram story. And he screen recorded that apology and sent it to a Baddies Tea page, sent the apology video, and then followed it up with a promo video for his birthday party, which was the next day, and said, "Please post my B-Day will be featured on Baddies Caribbean." Why the fuck is your birthday on Baddies Caribbean? Sir, you are the CEO of the network, and the fans do not want to see you.
It's so
Like,
cringe.
In what?
It's
like,
so cringe.
He is the worst main character syndrome of anyone I've ever seen. Like, you are not an attractive man. Okay, you're very ugly. We don't want to
Oh,
look
God,
at you.
yeah.
Put your whole
He's got a little
self
peanut
away.
head. His head is like this big. Like, he's got a little peanut head.
Like, you're ugly. You have no swag. You're a sex trafficker. You're a loser. You're a cornball. And none of these fans want to see your fucking birthday. And then did you see there was a clip that Natalie fucking bought him some chain, and it was giving he bought it and said, Natalie, give this to me. And she goes in this like rant. She's like on stage and she calls him her man.
What?
She says my N-word, but like the way that she says it, like it's giving like my man.
I don't know, because I'll tell you this much. When we were in Atlanta, he did not want nothing to do with that. And she tried.
That's the story
I know she tried because someone told me that she was trying.
Wait, what?
Someone told me she was trying to get him to do a threesome with them, and he did not want nothing to do with that.
Oh.
Nothing. I know that his friend, Darrell, the high top fade buddy, was hitting it. They know each other from like high school days.
And
they go way
Curtis.
back apparently.
Well, Curtis was from Bad Boys.
And Curtis from Bad Boys.
Oh yeah, that's the one I recently, right?
A security guard, allegedly.
But
I'm
allegedly
sure
the security guards are fucking everybody, because was it Biggie or Rolly? I hate the fat phobic names that they give all the big girls.
Rolly, well,
Rolly
it's better than One More Chance names.
Those weren't their names before?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, I feel like
they have a new one named Meatball. So I don't know.
Stop it.
I hate it so much. But
That's horrible.
It was either Rolly or Biggie paid a security guard, allegedly. It was Rolly. Allegedly paid a security guard to have sex with her.
Oh, come on. Who made up that?
That was the girls from the show were the ones that said it.
Yeah. And honestly, like
But the girls say things so much. Girls have said things about me that aren't true, so I kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. Like,
no, and that's why I love having the conversation too, because it's like to get a different perspective, and like because you've been involved in it, so it's like, okay, let's really flush it out and see like what. Because I keep saying, like,
really going
where
on?
there's smoke, like, there's a lot of smoke. So there's got to be some sort of fire going on.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think all of it's true.
Involved. He wants to be involved. Like, I don't know, Suge Knight, he did that speech back in the day where he was like, if you don't want your producer dancing all up in your videos, like Diddy's doing, you know? He's like the P. Diddy of reality TV right now. Like, slow down, buddy.
Have you heard anything about when you were with Zeus or anything? Did Natalie ever mention Diddy involvement in any sort of way? No.
Never. Okay. I had no clue that they were even friends or nothing like that. Lemmy and him. I mean, how would I? I never even heard of Zeus until that. And I don't even know how big Zeus was prior to Baddies. I feel like Baddies more so.
It wasn't.
Yeah, no, Baddies.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
Made them.
Literally nothing. I mean, I just think the timing of it all is odd. Like, his friendship with Diddy, like, his connection to sex workers and, like, women who are sex workers.
Everything that the news is talking about. That is allegedly happening with Diddy. It's like, well, it low-key matches a lot of the things that these girls like
are describing.
We went down Stunner Girl's Twitter. When I tell you, this woman is, I mean, she is a poet. Stunner Girl, honestly, you want to know who the baddest baddie of all of Zeus was? Is Stunner Girl. Stunner Girl is it. Yes.
She was a rapper also, right?
Yes.
Girl, yes.
Okay.
Well, she's arguing with Asian Doll. So Asian Doll and her are fighting.
Asian Doll's on this current season that they're filming right now.
But basically, like, I've noticed this, and it's not just with Stunner Girl and Asian Doll. It's with, like, all the girls from Baddies who get in arguments. It's like, you're a prostitute. No, you're a prostitute. You're sucking dick. No, you're sucking dick. And it's like... and it's
Plot
like,
twist,
listen.
they're all sucking dick.
Right.
It's like everyone's sucking a dick, and that's okay.
Right.
But, like,
okay.
What I'm worried about are the men that are involved. I'm worried about Natalie Nunn.
Are all the dicks you're sucking your choice?
Are all the dicks you're sucking consensual?
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
But here's the thing. It could still be your choice inadvertently because you feel that if you don't do this, like I know that.
But then it's not your choice.
That's
Exactly. Then that's not
coercion.
consent. When the
Yeah,
if the,
you've
if
pressured.
it's, yes, if you are feeling outside pressure, like you have someone in your ear saying you have to do this, that's not consent. That is fucking trafficking.
Or even insinuating that, if you do this, it will
You'll
put
get
you
this.
here.
Yes.
And I feel like Christina was put in that position because she really, really believed in the project. And she
Yeah.
really wanted to be a part of it. And I feel like she really deserved to be a part of it, even
Yeah.
more so. On even maybe a production level, being that what she was involved in. But
Totally. I
Natalie
also feel
icing her
like
out was
But do you
it
feel
for
like it
me.
was jealousy, or did you feel like Natalie, you kind of felt like from the start wasn't really trying to bring nobody? Do you feel like it was like something specific with Christina, or do you feel like it was
I
like
think it was that Christina is Lemmy's type. I
Lemmy
so
was
think
like a
done. He
jealousy
probably
kinda.
was gonna move on to the next thing, and her being there, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. I think that the thing that breaks my heart so much about Christina too is that Christina had Natalie in her ear, probably pretty much insinuating to her, like, if you don't do this, like, if you don't have a sexual relationship with this man, like, we're not getting a show. So that's
Yeah.
not just pressure on Christina. That's not just pressure on Christina of, like, Christina, if you don't do X, you're not going to get Y. That's pressure of, like,
She had
this
the weight of the whole project on
the
her
whole
back at that
project.
point.
Really?
You are now responsible for all, however many of you it was, 7, 8 of you it was.
Yes.
You're responsible for everybody eating. Like, that is a
Yep.
crazy amount of pressure to put on a person. And it breaks my heart even more that Christina got so much shit because she backtracked on some things, or because she called out Zeus and then was in a picture with them. But it's like, that's why, like, but when you look at a pattern where it's like, okay, it's not just Christina, it's Jayla, it's Rolly. Rolly, right before she got her show, came out and spoke out against Zeus and said very similar things to Jayla. I'm spilling all the tea, I'm done, whatever. And then got her own show. Now it's Smiley. Like,
Well, Smiley's getting a show on Now That's TV.
no, but I'm saying now Smiley's coming out and
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I'm about to expose Zeus. What is it these girls want to expose? It's something.
And why
And why?
do they keep backstepping?
Also, let me play you the phone call, Jada. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear, but if not, I'll sum it up for you.
You have LJ, Ashley, everyone calling my phone. If you don't come over here now with the rest of the girls, it's going to go up. You can do whatever you want.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What don't you understand? I just told you what I meant by that. You will be edited however the fuck they want to make you the fuck look. You want to look like a scammer? You want every episode to be that you scam? You want the feds and everyone to be on your ass?
The feds.
No. That right there is really, really crossing the line as a producer.
I mean,
You
as a
literally just told
producer,
her, I don't care
you
that you
told
had a
me-
I don't care that you had a miscarriage. Get the fuck out of bed and come here. We're gonna edit you so bad that law enforcement is gonna come after you.
Why is nobody? Why? Oh, it's so easy to say this from the outside, but why is nobody taking on a lawsuit with them?
no, because it's
They're
scary.
they must-
Because they're saying to them, you're gonna take a lawsuit on with us. You're a hoe. You sell pussy.
And
That's what they're
I'll
gonna
be a
say
hoe.
to them.
Fine,
No, but
I'll
that's the
be a
thing is
hoe.
like it doesn't matter.
No, exactly. It doesn't matter, Jada. It doesn't matter. We know that doesn't matter. Like, we know that at the end of the day, like, yes, I understand that as a sex worker, it's very scary, especially depending what state you live in. Like, Smiley lives in Florida. I don't know what the laws are there.
Oh,
From
that's
what I've
probably
heard,
so scary.
yeah, exactly. From what I've heard, they're not great. So, like, having that hanging over your head, having these men, or having Natalie say to you, "Oh, you're going to expose us? Great.
man.
We're going to tell law enforcement that you are a sex worker."
Right, exactly. And
I feel
but
like-
they do it in a
And
more
they're- and think
professional
about-
way than
and-
like a pimp.
And
like
think about Jada when we were young, right? And when Oxygen and Buna Murray was like, you signed an NDA and you can't say this. That was
I
all
know.
bullshit, but we were scared.
Yeah.
We didn't fucking
That's
know
so
that.
true.
Like, put yourself in that headspace. Like, we're older and wiser now, but like these girls aren't. And that's exactly why Natalie got rid of every girl from BGC and found a bunch of girls who've never been on TV before because they don't know that these NDAs are null and void. They don't know that even though they're doing sex work, it doesn't fucking like excuse abuse. They're scared.
No, it
They're
doesn't. I feel
scared.
like it's really everything comes all the dark. I feel like this is the era of like truth
I
and
agree.
revelation and shit coming out of the dark. But
Mhm.
I feel like it's only a matter of time.
No, I
It's
agree.
either somebody they've already cast or a new cast member is gonna blow this shit wide open.
Well, I mean, it's just like, it's honestly, you look at like Diddy, it's like, look how long it took. I was in
I
college
know.
and I heard rumors about it, you know, and so now it took how many years for that to happen? So it's
Mhm.
I
like,
know.
It's gonna take somebody coming out with like proof
yeah.
of
And Stunner Girl was
blackmail,
not
of
affected enough.
financial. It's gonna take. And unfortunately, I wish it didn't take that. I wish
Right.
like because what these girls have shared is enough. And people don't deserve their trauma. I really don't. I think it sucks so much.
No.
However, unfortunately, the only way this shit is going to really blow up and people are going to really care is if one of the girls comes out with proof and says, here's what's going on. They're making
I
us
find
have
it.
yeah.
Don't you think it's odd that who is it? Her name Amanda Cierney and
Amanda Cerny.
yeah.
Oh, we've talked about that at length. The owners of Zeus Network, the three Vine stars, and Lemmy, Amanda Cerny, King Bach, D Storm Power. Those three people and Lemuel Plummer are the owners of Zeus Network, and Lemmy is anywhere and everywhere with his
he's like the
fucking
face of it.
face all up and down, but it's not just him. And I don't know if you know Winter from BGC 17.
Yeah,
So she has a podcast.
I like Winter.
Yeah, me too. I've never met her, but I think she's very cute.
Me either. I
and
just
funny.
like what she does.
Same. She has a podcast, and I saw a clip from her podcast where she asked King Bach about Zeus. And he basically like completely swept it under the rug and was like, oh, I have nothing to do with that. And it's like, you're still the fucking owner. When you Google the network, it says you're the owner. So what do you mean?
Silent owner, maybe, but yeah.
It ain't silent. It's
It's
you
everywhere.
can Google it.
And he's just and
is Winter also putting this together herself?
no.
Noticing these things?
I don't honestly don't know. I just saw that one clip of her asking him that one question. Like, oh, like, you know, people have said a lot of negative things about Zeus. You're the owner of the network. Like, what do you have to say about it type of thing? And he was like, I have nothing to do with that. And that was really it. Like, the interview itself wasn't about that.
It wasn't pressing.
It was just, like, one of the questions. But, like, I have added them. And, I mean, I know they're influencers and they get, like, tons of, you know, at mentions and whatever. But there's no way that they haven't seen at least one thing I've said. I mean, I have noticed them.
But I mean, Lemmy hasn't come out and made a statement. I mean, he replied to Stunner Girl one time.
Yeah.
And Lunel, when she went on and talked about Jocelyn's Cabaret.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like that her allegations were false. But it's like, why? These are all random new people. It's not like the same person.
The old school lady, Lunel?
Yeah. She hosted Jocelyn's reunion.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, she was like...
Interesting.
She hosted the Jocelyn's Cabaret reunion and then went and said that she was, like, didn't like that she did the project. It was a horrible vibe. There were pimps. There were hoes. There were... By the way, when I say certain things, I'm quoting people. I don't call sex workers hoes. So, just for the record.
Right.
I'm quoting people and what they say. But she said there's pimps, there's hoes, there are drugs, there are people being assaulted, like fucking terrible, like crazy off the rails shit. From like
there must be a
one
lot of
day
drugs,
on set.
For sure. I remember I seen that lady Jocelyn performing like on Instagram, and she was like, this is the first time I'm sober performing and no cocaine or whatever, and I was like, that's so wild to say.
Or she was on Wild and
Bad versus Wild
talking about where's
then
the
she
cocaine.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. And then I seen a clip of her yelling, where's the cocaine?
They call her Cocaine Bear, and I laugh so hard.
Cocaine
it's so flagrant with it. I can't.
I just think it's so crazy that she's so open about doing coke because she's a mom. I'm like, aren't you scared that your kid's gonna get
No, but look at Natalie talking about she takes a break and like from her husband or her, from being a mom. It's like I really think that there's just people who just like can disconnect in that way.
I don't think she's that involved, like as a mother. I know that the husband has like been involved a lot with the child, but she never even talks about her
I've heard
daughter
he's basically
ever.
I've heard he's basically a stay-at-home dad, and she's like the breadwinner.
Which I mean, at least one of the parents.
At least one. There's a parent. From what I've heard, he's a really nice guy.
I've only heard positive things.
I've only heard nice things.
Like he's her Janisha. I mean,
they sound like best friends. Like when they talk, they literally sound like best friends. She would talk to him often, like in Atlanta. There was no break when she was in Atlanta cheating on him. So what's your excuse then?
Do you think it's cheating though? I don't think it's cheating. I think
maybe they have an arrangement that they are just not sharing with us, and I completely.
There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way. There is not a snowball's chance in hell that man does not know Natalie is a sex worker. There's no way.
No. For sure. I know that he knows probably everything, but that's why I feel like there must be some...
You know what I mean? I think that's the reason why she had to make the statement about Curtis, because anyone else, like, I'm sure the arrangement is that if she's doing sex work, that's fine. Like, if you are...
But they were trying to say they were in a relationship.
Exactly.
Oh.
But Curtis was like... She was buying me furniture for my apartment. We were like booed up. Stunner Girl released a phone call where Lemmy was like, you can't have Curtis on the red carpet.
Queen.
This is messy. Lemmy's such a queen. No, but he was like, you can't be having Curtis on the red carpet. If you want to cheat on your husband, that's your business. But this is messy.
It's so messy.
So that's, from what I've gathered, like, Natalie's husband... probably knows she does sex work, but like doesn't expect her to be out here having like relationships with fucking staff.
Like a constant
I just think it's something so much more. I feel like maybe they just don't even have that type of relationship anymore at all. It's just like a show.
Okay, well, there's rumors. There has been this, and honestly, I don't know how to go with this rumor about him being gay because it's one picture with him next to a porn star.
Yeah,
like that could have been taken anyway, right? But the only thing that to me holds weight. He also
could be a sex worker. He could not be.
He also could be bi.
Yeah.
He could be bi, but he could also be a sex worker, so he could be gay for pay. Like, he could be straight.
In Brazil,
but...
Yeah.
Right?
So
is that where they live?
Who?
Oh, no. I remember him.
Gay for pay is everywhere, honey.
No, I know that. But he was living in Brazil for a while, I feel like.
Oh, I
for a
didn't know
certain
that.
time.
You know, men will be like, I'm straight, but $20 is $20.
I don't know.
Listen.
Jeez. Yeah, they have an odd, whatever it is, it's very odd and it's very messy. And it's not a lot of times you see women in celebrity roles where they're like blatantly out there cheating on their husbands. Usually it's like something a man does, but it's very messy.
And
it's kind of inspiring. No, I'm just kidding.
All the women who independent.
No, no, I mean, the whole thing with Natalie is weird and illegal.
Yeah.
And then the shit with Smiley is crazy, but I'm interested. The only thing Smiley has released so far, she said she was going to like blow Zeus out of the water, but the only thing she's released so far is that phone call.
Okay, yeah, because we went to her OnlyFans.
We were going to subscribe.
Was.
There's nothing on
So wait, was she going to release info on her OnlyFans?
Allegedly, yes.
Sarah 2.0. And so
I was just going to say, like, wait a second, this sounds familiar.
We rushed
did.
And noticed before clicking that button, she hadn't been online since April 3rd. So it was or April 7th or something. So it was like, well, clearly you didn't upload anything. Now there are these pictures from March that said receipt. But that's got to be from something else, not from what she's talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was interesting.
I'm going to have to stay tuned with you guys because you really, you're good.
Well, you want to know what, too, is that after we posted our first 2 interviews, like now people are just sending us stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so it's great because we don't
Oh.
even have to go looking for it. Like the whole thing with Smiley, like
The
I don't.
fans are amazing
They
like
really
that.
are the
No.
best. Because I don't follow Smiley, but like a bunch of people like messaged me and like tagged me on Twitter, like, hey, like go look at her Instagram right now. So shout out to all the fans
Interesting.
who keep us in the loop. We appreciate it so very
You have little
much.
worker bees out there. That's great.
Yeah, because it's like
The
we like
best.
we look up a lot of stuff, but it's like I just found out about
It
Reddit this
gets
year.
it seems
I love
overwhelming.
Reddit.
It is overwhelming, and like again, last week it triggered an anxiety attack
I
on
know.
top of that stizzy, but but that's
We
why
were
it's
fried. You're gonna die
oh
when
my
you watch the
God.
episode. We were
I'm
literally
gonna
so
watch it
high.
tonight.
like die. But I feel like the reality is like to keep on talking about it, and again, we're grateful that you came to talk about it. You know what I mean? Just to get kids, and the viewers to understand that like there's something going on that is clearly darker than what it just being sex work.
Yeah.
Like, and just being like a city girl mindset, like, yeah, bitch, we just get into the bag. And
Yeah.
it's
But then
like,
we even found out that the city girl, well, not JT, but we know like Karesha was allegedly,
Young Miami
yeah,
was allegedly what? Oh, with Diddy.
with the pink cocaine and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, city
Oh.
girls, it's like, yeah, all fun and games, but now we know that she's possibly a sex trafficker.
No, yeah.
So like,
Wow.
it's like there's more going on behind the scenes of these like lifestyles that people promote. You get it,
And it's like
Yeah, and
go
the
ahead.
fans don't always see things like that. It's entertainment for them, and they're not really realizing that these roles these girls are in can be soul crushing.
Exactly, and really like long-term damaging. And
Yeah, I was just
that's
gonna
the
say it could
thing.
be over in a month or two, and that part of their life is over, but then everything that they went through will linger on for much
And
longer.
this specifically is why I care so much about this, because Bad Girls Club and Baddies are not the same, so I'm not going to say they're the same, but I understand firsthand like the stain that these things can leave on you, and we like talked about that a little bit at the beginning of this conversation. And so the fact that these girls are not only on a TV show, or I'm not going to say it's not a TV
An
show.
app
on a
show.
streaming
On an
service.
app show, on an application show. The fact that these girls are on the show, and the show itself, like being on the show and being affiliated with Zeus Network, that's going to be a stain. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone knows that network is extremely violent. Everyone knows what type of content is on that network. But in addition to that, like, I've dealt with that type of stain. Like, you were on Bad Girls Club, we want nothing to do with you. In addition to that, these girls are arguing with each other on the internet about doing sex work and calling each other out about sleeping with people in production and all this stuff. And it's like, Smiley right now is freaking out because they didn't call her for this season. So now she's threatening to expose them.
After she just got Zeus tattooed on her hand.
Tattooed on her hand. Because this girl, like, and this is what they're going to do to all these girls. They chewed her up and spit her out. They used her for what they could use her for. They got as much entertainment out of her as they felt they needed. And now that they don't need her anymore, she's kicked to the curb. And what is the rest of her life? Like, what is the trajectory going to look like? Like, that's why I'm mad about this.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's gonna cause her to do things to try to keep up.
Well, now that's TV is like way more of a fighting network. Like, I feel like most of the girls know, like, you going on that, like, you better sleep with both eyes open because
Yeah.
it's like literally.
It's violent.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like
It's very violent.
Why
mean,
are these
Baddies is a
shows so
setup,
popular?
but
Like,
the
why do
difference is
people enjoy this?
because you remember World Star like used to be
Yeah.
like the website, and people used to watch, like when I was younger, it would be like the homeless people fighting. Like,
Yeah.
it's like something
And there's
about
like
the
fight.
rush of.
There's so many like fight clips and like accounts like that where it's literally for the sole purpose of like feeding into violence and toxicity and negativity and like
And it's just so much worse because I'm not gonna lie, like back in the day when I used to watch at BGC, like you get this rush, like you were like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
people get like hyped up
yeah,
watching
but the
it.
I
problem was,
know. I've talked to people and they're like, "Oh man, I wanted to jump through that
Yeah.
TV when they were doing that to you," and I'm just like, "It's fine, it's cool, calm
I mean,
down."
I was never trying to be involved like that, but
People want
but you
their
get
art.
that rush of just watching, like, oh, what's she gonna do? What's that reaction gonna be? And the way it was edited for BGC, because the BGC wasn't
Yeah.
about fighting, but the way they edited it made people excited to watch it for the fight.
Yeah, they exploited the fights.
Exactly. Where now I watch
With that
baddies.
terrible editing they would do.
I loved the editing, honestly. I feel like that made
the like
it.
screen over, and then they would like be like dun, 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 and like.
But like baddies is more like, again, first episode you watch, like not ATL and not the conversation. You could feel that the conversation, clearly a fight was gonna happen, but it felt more like it was just the tension between your personalities. Where baddies feels like, all right, first episode, this one's gonna come in
And beat
you
the
never
shit
know
out of
who's
this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you watch like how
Really?
Natalie and Camilla were on, and it was a big thing. People got excited because
Did they fight?
well, it felt like they set Camilla up. And so, yeah, they did fight, but then they squashed it really quickly. Where I would have
Probably a similar situation to Jada.
Yes.
Natalie probably like snuck Camilla and then went up to Camilla after and was like, "That was amazing." And
we're
Camila,
gonna get to the bag.
and Camila probably just was like fucking discombobulated. Like, what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they made up
It's-
so fast.
I mean, Camila's also a mom. I like, was she trying to be like,
Yeah, I feel like the rest of the season she was trying to be cool, and honestly, she went on to the show. It looked like, I'm not trying to fight, but like if you've,
But I'm about
but I
it.
know Natalie. That was her
Yeah.
whole energy. Was like, I'm not trying to
Right.
fight, but I know Natalie. And then I personally watching it felt like it was a setup, and whatever. Camilla eventually squashed it with her, but there felt like this uneasiness throughout the whole season. But Camilla was hanging with the girls that I personally feel like were better personalities on the show. Like it was like Camilla found the good girls on the baddies.
She wanted probably good energy.
Yeah.
And good for her, because I can definitely relate as a mom. Like, you already are dealing with kids. Who wants to fight with grown ass women?
Yeah.
Kids. I be fighting with my toddler all day. I'm not trying to go argue with anyone else.
Wait, would you
Fuck
do
that shit.
reality? Would you ever do reality again, or like, did it put like a bad taste in your mouth, or just not with Natalie?
I
But, like
honestly,
a BGC thing
it would-
or something different.
it would really just, I would want it to be a good project, and I can't even think of like a reality TV show that's not dramatic and fighting. So, I mean,
Okay, my idea was like an ultimate girls trip, like how Bravo does it, but with like,
I would love a challenge show or something as well. And a girls trip, that would be great. But it's like, it's so hard with the fans, because it's like they want to see the drama. They want to
the
see you
drama, yeah.
fighting.
That's the problem, right? Is like the BGC fan base specifically like wants to see us fight.
see, that's where Buena
But-
Murray should come in with a revamp of Redemption, so that it could be on another level of like fight with your words. Like, remember Real Housewives of Atlanta? I used to love because it was like they threw shade
Yeah.
at each other and it was entertaining.
Intellectual fucking
Yeah.
bust downs.
I think it would be really funny if they did like a simple life with Bad Girls.
Oh.
Like if they brought Bad Girls to do like jobs. Like if they brought us to like work it fucking in and out for the day.
I'm
or
dead.
like go like shovel shit at a horse stable for a day. Because like that would cause fights. I know for a fact. You know that,
Oh,
Jada.
yeah.
I'm so bad with these headphones. You know, if they
You want
brought
switch?
us all to and we had to like do jobs and complete tasks together,
Yeah.
it would be funny.
No, because strong personalities are going to clash.
100%, especially if we all have to like work on a task together. Like perfect way to like make it funny and start like organic arguments. Like
Yeah, and it
and
doesn't
it's
have to be
not
fist
like
fighting.
it's not like fist fighting and drinking. Like we're all older. We don't want to do that shit, but I think like a simple lifestyle show with Bad Girls would be like fucking hilarious.
That way.
I would love to do like a reunion thing too, because I know the fans are like curious about their favorites, like where they're at, what they're doing with their lives. Like, that would be cool, a nice reunion.
Okay.
I would
I
love
was
that.
I was hopeful for the OnlyFans project. I really wanted it to do well, and I was really sad when, it kind of got taken from us, and like all the
Yeah.
girls that were supposed to do the OnlyFans project kind of jumped ship, and
Mm-hmm.
I and Shannon used our own money to try to keep it going, and we like went to Vegas and we spent thousands of dollars
Oh.
trying to create more content for the
Mm-hmm.
project, and nobody wanted to show up. It was like me, Shannon, and I think Rocky, and
That sucks.
yeah, so it was like they kind of just took our project from us,
Yeah.
but it's fine because life goes on, and now they're
Well,
gonna be
look what
dealing with.
it's. Here's the thing, Jada, is like it was never going to align with you because look at what it's turned into.
Right.
Obviously, that's what
Exactly.
they wanted it to be from the beginning.
Well,
So,
God had a plan. I became a mom
completely.
around the time that she texted me.
Mm-hmm.
The universe aligned itself for like a dramatic change in my life. So
Completely, yeah. We've done an episode on Zeus every week for the past 3 weeks. And every week there has been more information. Like everything we just talked about is brand new information. Like the thing about
wow,
Smiley, the thing about Diddy, the thing about Jayla, the thing about the birthday party, Smiley exposing
Curtis.
Natalie. All of it is new information. Like it's crazy. And
wow.
I guarantee you next week we're going to have even more information because
Okay.
it's just
I
like doesn't stop.
Oh yeah, for sure. Are you trying to have you reached out to any of the prior or the currents to see if maybe they want? I know obviously the currents won't, but maybe
So,
prior girls.
like, my whole thing is, right, is like, I am using my platform to talk about this in hopes that, like, people who want my help or who want to expose Zeus or who want to come on and talk about it will approach me because the thing is, I don't want to start reaching out to people and giving them information and they're not really against Zeus. That's my concern.
Yeah, people are on the fence. People would like to say they
That.
are and then go back and forth. I get
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, I reached out to Camilla to see because she was on it. I did AfterBuzz with her, and we've always had a
Wait, I
good.
knew you looked familiar.
No, yeah, I interviewed you, but you
Oh my
called in. Yes.
God.
You called in. I went back and watched that horrifying watching myself
But
back.
I
But
knew it. I was like, why does he look so familiar? You guys have been a team for a while then.
yes.
I love
But I
it.
did. I went back and watched all your interviews, and that one included. And I see him high now because you got me on that. 'Cause I was like, what was I just
Good
talking about?
shit.
You were saying that you watched Jada's interviews, you went back.
Mm-hmm.
You did your research.
I did my research, but it was right
And
before that.
then
What
I
was
got
that? The
high.
step up.
And then I
And I
got
got
And I
high.
got high.
And this is why it's like I want to be high because I know when my rants go ranting, it's everything. But it's like, oh my god,
But
control
sometimes
yourself.
we lose it. We
And
lose it mid thought.
But no, what
It's
was
okay.
the main topic we were just talking about? It was
You
one
reached
of the
out to
stories.
Camila.
I
Oh,
reached out to
Camila,
Camilla.
yeah.
Yes, I reached out to Camilla because we've always had some sort of like basis, like cool
Camaraderie.
basis. And it's like, all right, you went on this show. I'm not gonna lie, like knowing Camilla, I talked to one of my friends who's also cool with her, and we were like kind of surprised she did it. So, and then afterwards, she is like you say, like you get a stain, but she did get picked, to go on to that
House of Villains.
House of Villains. So it's like I'm really interested to know her perception.
Good for her.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
she
like,
did say something negative about Zeus
yeah,
recently,
and
right?
she did kind of go off of when Jayla had made the
Jayla.
comment.
J-Lo is what made Camila be like, no, it's out of control.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I just that's the only one I've reached out to because I feel like I'm
You
also
guys
like,
have a relationship to
yeah,
some degree,
like I'm not trying to text Smiley, like, you know what I mean?
I could see her doing stepping on. She's always been pretty transparent. I mean, from my encounter with her about things that she's been through and her life,
Yeah.
I could see her doing it.
My whole thing too is Jada, like knowing Natalie and knowing how she will like orchestrate drama. Like part of me almost feels like now, like for example, with the whole Smiley thing, like Smiley exposing Natalie and all that, like obviously it's incriminating and like it's not good, but at the same time, like there is a small part of me that's like, is this real?
Is it
Or
marketing?
is this
No.
marketing? Because Smiley was just in Dominican with Natalie. She's not on the show. She's probably trying to get back on the show. I mean, she literally went and got Zeus tattooed on her knuckles 3 weeks ago. So I can also
That's wild.
I can also see a scenario where Natalie's like, you're going to help us promo the show, and maybe we'll invite you next season, but you have to help us promo it, and here's how. Like,
okay, here's my other one. She goes on to Now That's TV, so now people know who Smiley is from that world
and then
or whatever.
steals their fan
and
base
then
back.
she eventually could come back. Like, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'd be loving
No, but I could
conspiracy.
totally see that coming from
Right?
Natalie.
Exactly,
She's
because
very
you know
good
how
at
Natalie is.
she's
I
good
know.
like that, scheming and scamming.
Because you just got your tat. You got a tat on your hand a week before.
Yeah. And
That's so
oddly,
wild.
this is also a very... Actually, I don't even know if I want to talk about that. Never mind. The yacht. No, fuck it. I'll talk about it. It's also very odd, like, the timing, because she, like, posted all this shit about Zeus today, and then all of a sudden posts, I bought a yacht.
It's a boat.
It's a boat. It's not a yacht, but...
But go off.
Isn't that weird, like, the timing of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very weird. How'd you afford a boat? Is it a little boat?
I mean, it's
It's a decent-sized boat.
Yeah,
it's not a rowboat.
It's not a yacht. It is like,
yeah, because a yacht has to
I
be
would
40
give
feet.
it,
But it's
let's
a
say
boat.
max.
It fits like 6 people on it, I would
It's
say.
21, 27 feet maybe.
Yeah.
Max. Like, it's not.
I thought they weren't. Okay, hold on. All these girls are complaining about what they're getting paid. Like, I'm confused.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the girls are... Smiley's complaining that she's not on this season because she's not getting paid. But actually, the one thing that the girls have said that I've heard is that they do get paid. But I don't think they're necessarily getting paid like a salary. I think it's that they get paid in like purses and fucking bills paid and like
Well, no,
things like
some
that.
of them though.
Some of them,
because
some of them,
like
not
Stunner
all.
Girl and Asian Doll just said she got what, 200K?
200K.
Stop.
Girl, yes, these girls are saying they're allegedly getting paid like.
And Megan James said she would go back on, but it has to be for like, she said for Tommy's price.
Tommy's price. So I wonder how much Tommy's making.
I forget.
At least 6 figures.
It's out there, but.
So they are paying.
That's the lady with the horse thing, right? It was like some weird thing about a horse or something.
A horse.
I don't know. I seen a clip with a horse.
A horse. Tommy
And she was complaining
Oh
about
yes,
somebody
yes,
touching her horse.
yes. 100. Yeah, they were filming in the Caribbean, and in the Caribbean, and she was on a horse.
That
and
lady
Natalie,
is scary looking.
Yeah,
She
I mean
literally...
she was
I've
on
never
Love and
been
Hip Hop.
scared of nobody like just by looking at them, but I seen that clip and I was just like, oh.
No, she's.
I loved her on Love and Hip Hop.
She's about that life. Like she is about that life. She's
I
the one
definitely
that also
got them vibes.
boxed Natalie.
She boxed Natalie, but she was like zooted. Like she like
Yeah, she
barely could
lost.
hit Natalie. It was so weird.
No.
And I also felt like it was a
she does
setup.
that stuff too?
I mean, I don't know, but if you were to watch, even if you can look up like clips of the fight, like she's
Yeah, I'm
not,
gonna look it
she's
up.
not there. Like she's completely just like, but
Damn.
this whole thing is very sinister, and I don't like it.
No, it's dark. It definitely is, and they're using their power and positions certainly to intimidate these girls.
Yeah.
So like, but when do you feel like you started like paying attention to it? I know like recently, but like between the time of like Rocky and now this, like in that conversation with Rocky.
I knew something was off in October of 2020 when things were happening that I was just like, this is such a conflict of interest if we're going to do a project with them. I honestly knew that either probably Christina was going to get kicked out of the project or we weren't going to have the project because of that. And it happened just like that. She got kicked out and we don't have the project. But I knew something was weird then, but I went on with my life. You know, I have a freaking kid now. But Julie started talking about this and like revamped it in my mind. I was like, wow, she's really right. Because I don't watch the show. I don't know a lot of tea. I've talked to Christina. I knew what happened to her when she went to film. I know those things. And I know the other relationships that have been broadcast, you know, with the one girl, Tommy or Scotty, what a body.
Yeah.
And Anna, Mac, and Scotty.
Yeah.
Those are the two girls.
Oh, there's another one, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two girls that, and again, it's alleged. But those are the two girls that the fans and everybody, and there's a lot of evidence that would.
The
point
lady
to,
who stays with him, Like, what the fuck, lady?
Yeah.
Janisha.
You're
No,
gorgeous.
she used to do
You
AfterBuzz.
are drop dead gorgeous.
She did AfterBuzz.
She used to do AfterBuzz. Like I knew her through that. She was always so nice too. Like she's one of the nicest people I've met.
Why would you stay with that little pea? That
Money.
that little nut head. I don't get it. Like, you're
But
gorgeous.
that's the thing. It's like, how much
There's a
power
man
does this
out
guy
there
have?
that would treat her well. I know it. A wealthy, well-established, nice guy.
I mean,
And you
she
stay
says
with
he
that?
Who
does.
knows, though? Who knows? Who knows what their arrangement is? Who knows what they got going on? Charisse Mills, who was on One More Chance's show on Zeus.
I like her.
Me too. I've never met her, but I've seen
Me
her
either.
interviews and stuff. But Charisse did an interview where and we talked about it last episode, where she discussed having threesomes with Lemmy and Janisha, and how she felt pressured to have a sexual relationship with Lemmy in order to stay at Zeus Network. And she said she left Zeus Network because she, quote, didn't like having things held over her head. And that Lemmy was the type of person to hold things over your head and to manipulate and to, like, make you feel forced into doing things.
Intimidated.
I had no idea that she went on Zeus. What was she on? The Baddies?
One More Chance. She was on One More Chance.
That was on Zeus?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was one of their first, like, shows away from influencers. That was kind of the first time they brought reality star
Real
Blac
Chance
Chyna
of
to
Love.
it.
Real Chance of Love was the original show with Chance
okay.
and his brother. That was on VH1. Chance's
Okay.
brother passed away. And so now it's just Chance. And so Zeus gave Chance his own dating show. And this girl who was on that show has publicly talked about having a sexual relationship with Lemmy and with Janisha.
Wow.
And what's interesting too, like about the beginning of all this is like when Zeus started, anything you read about Zeus, they talk about how it was about influencers, right? And you think of Amanda Cerny to Storm Powers, King Bark, they're Vine influencers. So the shows were like B. Simone, what's the kid? TT.
Yeah.
Like it was all those viral influencers. And then Lemmy starts getting these reality stars, and he's been the only person attached to this now. And once it goes down this this road, you start looking like, okay, once Jocelyn's on One More Chance, now she gets a show. Natalie's on here, now she gets a show. And then you start hearing all these allegations, like from Jocelyn's Cabaret. That girl Amber said that Jocelyn's husband on the reunion grabbed her by the head and punched her in the face and ripped out her hair. And a bunch of girls went live. It's everywhere. A lot of videos got taken down. And so you hear that from Jocelyn's, you know what I mean? Cabaret. You hear other girls talk about fighting and stuff like that. And then now you're hearing it from Batteries. So it's like this pattern that all of a sudden,
It's
but
not
there's
even
a separation.
specific to baddies.
And that's a
It's the whole
separation
network.
from the three of those influencers to letting this guy Lemmy, because then we looked up his IMDb.
So it actually has nothing to do with Natalie then. It's actually him and his network. This was happening far before
well,
But
no,
I
no,
think
no,
she
no.
wants to be fucking Ghislaine Maxwell so bad though,
Yeah.
bro. Because I think
Right,
she,
not that it has nothing to do, but it
I
didn't
think she
start.
knew, because think about this, right? Her and Jocelyn don't like each other. Jocelyn's show was before Natalie, right, Baddies. So was, I think so was One More Chance, but I don't know.
It was.
So Natalie probably, Natalie knows people in LA. Natalie probably knew what the fuck it was at Zeus Network. And Natalie probably went to this man and was like, listen, I can recruit people for you. I can do this for you. Whatever.
She came to Darrell with this idea, the co-producer, High Top Fade.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, like, and maybe that's how she initially got brought in. But I definitely
Yeah, I
noticed...
remember the discussion. He was telling Lemmy, he's like, I've been telling you about her. I've been telling you that she had... Yeah, I was standing there when he was telling this to Lemmy, like, she's been telling me about this. I've been trying to tell you about this. But I guess Lemmy wasn't interested for a while, and then he was.
See, okay, so that's where I'm also, like, questioning, like, maybe... Like you said, it's not really about Natalie. Like, I do think it's bigger than Natalie, but I think there was a difference in energy, and also the messiness of, like I keep saying, like, Natalie's going to be the downfall of Zeus.
Yeah.
Because she creates these messes and brings in people who leave stains of information. I wasn't getting no information about Jocelyn's cabaret before this or anything.
That's true.
Right.
And so there was like this stamp of like, maybe when you were doing the project with Natalie, she saw this opportunity, like similar to like an AfterBuzz, or like she just saw this online platform that she could possibly get an opportunity from. And then possibly had to drop all the Bad Girls because maybe getting to know Lemmy after a period of time realized, oh, you about that life? Because I'm about that life.
Yeah.
You ready to be about this life?
For
Yeah.
sure. Oh, for sure. I'm sure that's why he was apprehensive in the beginning to bring a woman on into his team like that so close, because it was just the boys.
It's a boys'
All the
club.
boys.
Yeah.
And then they brought Natalie in.
And
Yeah.
Right? I mean, was there a woman producer on here that I don't know about on Zeus?
Maybe
Janisha.
Jocelyn.
No, Janisha.
Oh, Janisha.
And yeah, Jocelyn
But
was.
Janisha is Lemmy's wife.
Right.
So that's a
Right,
little
that's different.
But was
It's
she
like,
involved
She was
when
already there.
Was she involved
But-
Do we
with
have
you
more
guys?
high noon?
Sure do.
No. So when Lemmy came
Hold
to...
on, pause it 1 moment. We're going to refill my drink.
Wait.
Okay.
Hi, darling.
Hi. For some reason, I had no idea that about Charisse, but now that I think about it, it makes sense.
I'll send you the interviews. There's a few.
Yeah, you got to keep me plugged in. I'm out of the loop.
Well, now that you're doing this, the kids will.
Well, exactly. Now that you're doing this interview, watch, you'll get DMs from people. Jada, did you see
good.
this?
Good. Keep posted. I jump on socials here and there, but it's like little clips. It doesn't tell you everything. But we're going again, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
When Lemmy came to Atlanta, apparently he was single. Him and Janisha had broken up. And that's why I guess whatever was happening with him and Christina was okay.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Because another thing
if
we
she's
noticed
involved
was
in the threesomes, it makes sense why she's probably sticking around for all the other nonsense,
I know. I wonder if she, like, what the real dynamic is with Scotty. Someone actually, because the last episode we went into a infographic about sex trafficking and basically broke down. It's like so like. Basically broke down like each step of sex trafficking and gave examples of how Zeus is doing it. And when we did that, someone tweeted and wrote, "This is happening to Scotty. Like, this is exactly what's happening to Scotty. Like, she always posts subliminal stuff on her story about how she feels alone and how she's depressed and like all this stuff." And it like hurts my fucking heart because she's now stuck in a situation. She's not only having to have a sexual relationship with this fucking literal, scary, ugly freak,
but also
but
being controlled by
also
the thought
being
of being
bullied
best
by
friends.
Natalie.
Yeah, it's like you're my best friend. Like the gaslighting of friendship and love
That's-
is crazy from
Yeah.
two different people. And it's like they're mind fuckings. Like I feel like they are mind fucking her. Like
Oh, for sure.
Completely.
because I've been in a situation like that
Yeah.
with my ex and his mom, and like when it's two people and you're in a weak state like that, like you believe it and you start thinking it's you. And
You know what else?
But Anna Mac, I don't feel like is the same situation.
You know what else too I realized about not only like reality TV and Zeus and BGC and cults and like all this fucking shit, but like people wonder like what incentivized, like why would they stay? Why would they stay? Why wouldn't they get out of it? And it's like, yes, it's money, and yes, it's like if I don't do this, what am I gonna do? But I think more than anything, it's community. Because I think, like, some people are born into their community, right? Like, some people love their hometown, and they come from healthy families, and
they just
all
stay
their
there,
friends are
yeah.
there, and they stay there, and that's their community, and they have that, and that's great. But for many of us, we are not born into that. We are not born into that. And so we have to venture out into the world and find that and make that community ourselves. And when that is the position you're in, you are in a position to be preyed upon. And the thing that people will dangle over you and hang over your head more than money, more than fame, more than success is community. We're a family.
Yes.
We have your back. We've
You
got
belong here. You feel
That
like
is
you
the most
belong.
exactly. That is the most. As someone who doesn't have that, that is the most intoxicating, addicting concept, thought.
And one of the oldest concepts in the world. Like
Completely, it's the
Oh, yeah.
reason people give
Oliver
all their
Twist, I
money
think.
to cults or to a church or to an organization
Yes.
because people want community, and they're preying on that, and it's disgusting.
Yes.
and
And
it's
it's not, they know what they're doing when they're casting people, just like Bunam and Murray and Oxygen did,
Completely, completely.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
the difference between Bunum and this is like I feel like because even working in reality, I notice the casting with like other popular shows nowadays. But it's like they are looking for someone who is a little off, not too crazy, but they you know what I mean? Like it's like we want to
No, your
find somebody.
elevator's not going all the way to the top. Like
Yeah.
we're all a little
Mhm.
fried. Like
Can we
anyone who's
put
been on
you?
reality TV is not normal.
Can I put you in a world and control you?
Exactly.
Where okay, it's like a mental game control and you're signing up for that and it's like but legally you're going on a regular network, so it's like I mean, I know there have been allegations with like Bachelor in Paradise about drinking
Drugging
and
and all that, yeah.
but it's like for the most part,
Wow.
yeah, for the most part that's not the theme.
Yeah.
And
Zeus, it's
I
the
never
theme.
seen this at Oxygen. I mean,
what
everybody's
I'm
story is
saying.
different, but at Oxygen wasn't, I don't feel like preying on their cast members in a sexual way.
Not in a
Well,
sexual
and
way,
I don't
no.
feel like the idea was to hire sex workers.
No.
Like it
Right.
Or
feels
encourage
like
or foster an environment where you would be encouraged to do sex work. If they
Right.
found out, I know girls were doing sex work
yeah,
on the
no,
show.
and I'm not saying that there weren't.
But if they found, like, there was a night where one time we went to a club and, like, the girls disappeared for a while, and then I heard later, like, what was going on. So it was, like, little things like that. Like, people would, it was actually our season, Jada.
What was going on?
I'll tell you off camera. But so I knew about girls doing sex work on the show, like, on the
No
sly.
way.
yeah,
way.
I mean,
On the sly. But
it wasn't like
same
Bunam's
like
hired
there were
them
some girls
for
that had like
reason.
weed gummies that they would like do on the show, but we weren't supposed to have drugs, like little things like
Yeah.
that. So, but it was
But you're not being selected because of that.
well, and if
position.
you were to get caught doing those things, you would get in trouble. Whereas
Oh,
at
no.
Zeus,
I
it's like
totally smoked weed on season 12, and I know they knew. There was no way that they didn't
Yeah.
know.
I don't think they
No.
really give a shit,
Yeah.
but legally they're not supposed to like allow
Right.
you to have drugs.
Yeah.
Like that is like
like
on
Tylenol
one
is
show
something
I
crazy.
did, there was a girl on the show who was a drug addict. And this girl faked, I'm not going to say faked, but this girl would talk about injuries she had in order to go to medical to get pills. And production completely knew what was going on and allowed it to happen how it happened. So
You know, Lindsay from my season.
Lindsay, the
They
blonde
knew
girl
that she
with-
was prescribed Xanax. They knew it. They allowed her to have the Xanax. They allowed her to take it, but then they also allowed her and gave her a shit ton of alcohol to drink on top of the Xanax. And she went batshit crazy the first night and left, got kicked out.
Oh,
And then ended up passing away
Stop.
like
what?
like a year, maybe 2 years later from believe it was an overdose, I think. But they knew that she was on Xanax
I
drinking.
do remember seeing her.
No, like
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah, I worked on a show, and like the thing is, if you take medication daily, usually the idea is production holds on to it. I don't know if it was like that on BGC.
One of the girls on my season had diabetes, and yeah, her insulin, they
And
had to
someone
give
would
it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember one episode, like there was a day, and it was like the thing was if you drink, you can't take your medication. And I remember them
That's
being
not
like,
safe.
yeah, like they put the liquor out so early one day, and it was because they knew there was going to be a party later on, so they wanted people, and it was almost came across as they put that liquor out so early, knowing that the person was going to go to the bottle before asked for their medication. And once that person took a sip of alcohol, wasn't able to take that medication, had to go the whole day drinking, and ended up getting an edit for what she did
like
at
a horrible
night.
edit. Yeah, that's so unfair.
So it's like, yes,
That's
it
so
happens.
fucked.
It happens, and but not only that, that company got in trouble for that.
No,
And-
exactly. There's regulations where they will get in trouble, because I also heard of like another instance, which I actually don't know if this is true, but it's just, again, like fan theories and those type of things. But I had heard that on a season that a girl, it might have been Real World, it might not have been BGC, but still Bunum, so same.
Right.
But I heard that there was a situation where a girl got drugged, and instead of intervening, production filmed her drink getting drugged, and then filmed her becoming incapacitated, and filmed everyone having to carry her on the bar, and they talked about it on there like she got drugged, but it was like they literally filmed it happening and didn't intervene. And then because of that, this person sued and allegedly won. And so I forget if it was BGC or Real World, but I know it was a Bunum. It was one of the
Real
two.
World, 22-year-old woman
Real
in the
World.
bathroom of a house being used to film MTV's Real World officials.
Yeah.
A woman told the police she believes that a man she met at a nearby night's house slipped her a drink, drugs in a drink, and raped her. Oh, my God. One cast member remembered the woman as being disoriented, having...
Wow.
So
Like,
San
how
Diego.
does... How?
Oh,
Think about,
How
Jada,
could you
like,
stand by and watch that?
Think about, too, like, production and, like, how, you've done a show, we've done shows together. Think about, like, they follow you every second. Like, how could you possibly see someone be sexually assaulted and not intervene? Like, you don't get a moment to yourself.
No.
I mean, maybe... I mean, I don't know.
Even if you get a moment to yourself, the mics are catching so much as well.
Everything.
Like,
exactly.
So technically, they didn't find any of the video as of this article.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure whatever fucking
they scrubbed that so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I feel like that just happened on Real Housewives of Potomac. They said, "Oh, after cameras went down, this happened," but I'm like, are you just saying that because you don't want a legal situation? Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
And the girl it happened to is leaving this season. So it's just like, look, could it be the story? Like, it just so happens she's over it. But it's just like, usually when there's that many coincidences in a pattern.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly.
Well, also, back to what we were talking about, how you were saying production with Lindsay, like, and all that stuff. Like, Bethany Frankel has a show called Reality Reckoning on Hulu. And Leah McSweeney, who was on Real Housewives of New York, talked about how she was sober for years. She started the Sober is Sexy, right? Wasn't that her?
I don't remember.
I think it was. Okay. I think I might be making that. No, never mind. I think she did Married to the Mob, which was a different clothing line. Regardless, she was sober and basically, like, has come out and said that, like, Bravo production, like, put her in situations, like, to drink. And then when she relapsed, was, like, encouraging her to drink and, like, wanted her to be drunk on camera. And having done reality television, I know it's true. Like, they literally love to make you look as bad as possible and trigger you as much as possible to get the worst out of you that they can. Mm-hmm. Whatever that means. It's different for everybody. But whatever that means for you. No, she lasted
one day. Like, and it was a horrific experience for her, I'm sure.
But it's like, even things like, now it's the other one with Andy Cohen. Not Brittany. Oh my gosh.
Brandy Glanville. Also a housewife. Also Bravo.
Now she's wild. But they put her on a season with Carolyn Manzo, and they're not going to air the season because Carolyn's suing Bravo.
Wow.
I know that.
Yeah, because basically Brandy got super drunk and she's blaming how much alcohol they gave her and came onto her and did something disrespectful. We don't know. There's been two different versions of what could have happened. But
some inappropriate sexual contact with production.
Right. So then Brandy came out recently and said something about how Andy offered her coke. like offers.
And didn't Andy say something? Didn't she say something about Andy wanting her to like not have a threesome, but wanted to watch her have sex with somebody?
Yeah, it could again. And here's the thing where it like becomes blurry lines. Like it's like he's gay. It comes across like a friendly. You know what I mean? Banter back and forth. Like, oh, you're hot. I'd watch you and him do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, and again, that's where these lines feel blurry and cross. So it's like at one point when her and...
Well, you know who's not gay?
Who?
Lemuel Plummer. You know who's also not gay?
Well, I
do you
mean,
know?
we don't know that he's not like bi on the down
We
low.
know.
There's so many.
No, I was just saying because there's no excuse for him, and he is a disgusting freak.
No, but that's the whole point of what I'm going towards. Like to look how it can easily be misconstrued on a platform like Bravo. Yeah. And then you look at this where it's like all these girls feel like they have such a close connection to him. Mm-hmm. But then online, it's always about fighting Natalie. And so it's like...
Yeah, like Jayla's apology was specifically to Lemmy. Mm-hmm. Natalie's speech was specifically to Lemmy. Like most of what Stunna Girl's issues are specifically to Lemmy.
Yeah.
Like...
Like, and then she argues back and forth she'll argue with Natalie, but for the most part...
It's about him.
Yeah. This
being
control.
A creep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. They're like two peas in a pod though at this point.
Yeah.
Him and Natalie.
But what's also interesting is last week we read this article, well, not an article, one of the security guards at Zeus, and he posted this thing, and it was about talking about like, it's
that
not
misogynistic rant.
So it's like, is the group of men you're talking about the Zeus guys that work at Zeus? So what is Natalie really looked at as there? Like,
like what is her role? I would be so curious because when we watched clips from the last reunion, like all the girls were piling on Natalie, and then Natalie like went
because
into
she
this
wasn't
like
best
victim
friends with
mode.
them.
Like Natalie went into this like victim mode and was like, I do so much for everybody and nobody appreciates me and la.
But that is typical. That's so typical of her.
Typical Natalie.
She always claims to be doing so much.
Completely. And then so Nene Leakes, who was the reunion host, which is tragic, but that's a story for a different day. Nene Leakes was like, you know, everybody's so hard on Natalie, and Natalie doesn't have as much control as you guys all think. Well, she's the executive producer of the motherfucking show.
And she claims that she has that control.
And she claims she has all the control. So which is it? Is it she's the executive producer and she has all the control? Or the title is bullshit and she has no control? She better figure it the fuck out soon.
Right.
I'm going to tell you that.
When she was arguing back and forth with Smiley on the phone, was she naturally calling Smiley to get her in line? Or did Lemmy say call her and do this?
Oh, Lemmy was on it for sure.
That's what I think. I think the chain of command is like her doing whatever the fuck he says. And he lets her play like bad cop. Just like when the whole thing came out about Curtis and Natalie having an affair, Smiley is the one that leaked Curtis's social security number. Smiley is the one that leaked Curtis's... No, not allegedly. It was on her Instagram. Leaked Curtis's social security number. Federal offense, I'm pretty sure. Leaked Curtis's address. Smiley was the one that did that and claimed that she has relationships with hackers, and that's how she got the information. Jesse and I speculated that Natalie has that information because when you do a TV show, you sign your fucking life away. You give them all your information. So Zeus Network had that information. Curtis goes out and starts saying about Natalie whatever, that they had a sexual relationship, sends clips. And then all of a sudden, his social security number's leaked, but by Smiley. Not by Natalie, not by Lemmy. And that is the chain of command. Is like, Lemmy puts the battery in Natalie's back, but then Natalie puts the battery in these girls' backs. Completely.
Like Natalie is the Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. She was desperate for this to work out for her. I believe that she would do anything he says to keep it.
She's nuts, bro. Because they are... breaking the law like pretty regularly.
I mean, but it's even like she talked about the Curtis like revenge porn. Like you're blatantly talking about things that are just like, and I mean, to a point, I guess like Stunna Girl is too at the same point on her Twitter. But it's like Stunna Girl isn't creating a whole bunch of patterns
It's
with
different.
girls.
It's
Like
different.
that's the
Sun
thing.
is not the abuser. She's exposing the abuser.
Right. And so it's like what she says of herself isn't as incriminating because also she's not a executive producer of the show. So it's like you're an executive producer. Like, again, last week you said, yeah, cast members, it's known cast members hook up, whatever. But once you are using, and that's why, because people keep saying, why are you guys so focused? Why do you care? Because the reality is like when you are someone in power, that is
you have a
difference.
responsibility. You have a responsibility.
They don't get it. Like, people are saying that to you guys.
Well,
I mean,
are they not comprehending?
People, I think they're starting to get it. We're getting less pushback, but I think people, because Natalie's been on TV for so many years, people aren't computing that, like, yes, okay, Natalie is on TV and she's fighting these girls, but she is also an executive producer. She's never been that. You are either one or the other. You're an executive producer, you're talent. And again, if she's an executive producer of a show where they're engaging in staged fights, then sure, she can, I don't know the legalities around that, but she could probably participate.
Yeah.
But when you're the executive producer of a show and you are just at will physically assaulting the talent, that is illegal as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that.
And I really feel like eventually, like at the very beginning, again, I truly feel like it was like her and Lemmy had a conversation, realized, okay, I got to cut these girls from ATL. And then moving forward, found this opportunity to be able to make a little extra money, hold this power, almost create like I am the bad girl. And like she'll bring, like again, she brings Jayla, but it's like at this point now without Jayla, what girl comes on there? Because it's like Megan has, she does like the Bad vs. Wild thing.
Yeah.
But it's not something where it's like no one wants to stay in the house with Natalie but these new girls.
No one is talking about Bad vs. Wild either because it's still on. It's like a weekly show that's on. Yeah. And I noticed like the first episode, I was seeing clips, I was seeing people talking about it.
No, but they used Bad Girls.
Yeah, but
because they even just used it again because they had Megan on there.
What is Bad vs. Wild? What's that on?
It's Zeus, but it's Wild and Out basically.
Oh.
And
but
so
but like not.
It's not.
Hey, I seen something like that, and I thought they were on Wild and Out.
No, it's called Bad vs. Wild.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
And honestly, I feel like it's just something that they felt like, okay, we can put this on while we film Caribbean, and then that way they just try. I feel like they're gonna put that out really soon.
Well, also like Megan's not gonna go on Baddies. Do you know what I mean? So it's like certain.
She said for the right money, she would.
That's interesting. That surprises me.
They must be making a lot of money exploiting these women if they're giving $200,000 to some of the cast.
Think about this, right? So they're giving allegedly hundreds of thousands of dollars to women on the cast who have a large following, like Stunna Girl or like Asian Doll. But those girls, from what I understand, are not being forced to do sex work. They're not expected to do sex work. They're not necessarily expected. So they're getting all the money while the girls who are making the money.
Peanuts, probably.
Which also, why are there two houses?
Shit. They're getting a YSL bag here.
Wait, there's two houses?
Yeah.
There's two houses.
House B and House A.
All right, here's my real conspiracy plan of what I thought. Like, we went and did this timeline. I feel like Baddies ATL was a setup, like, whether Tanisha and Natalie really got into that or whatever, it just came across unauthentic. But I felt like it was the setup for creating why there's two houses. And so it's basically like if you and Julie don't get along, well, then you go in House A and Julie will be in House B. But it feels like when you pay attention to the stories,
it's not about getting along.
it feels like all the girls where these rumors are coming out tend to be in one of the houses. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I got you.
And the bigger kind of names are always either staying in the other house or just not even, like Suki, I don't think slept at any of the houses. But like some of the bigger names, like the Mariah Lynn and Camilla, they were at like the bad girls usually sleep in the other house.
They were
if it's
in
a bad
another
girl.
house.
But the new girls tend to be in this other one.
The ones they want to exploit.
Right.
Exactly.
And so it's like, well, that's
Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it felt like, okay, that's probably where the conversation could have happened about well, wait a minute, this 2-house situation works out because we got to get a lot done during Daddy's ATO.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You guys have blown my mind with the information tonight.
Period.
It's funny, right? Because it's like you get all these like separate pieces of information. Like people will do like a YouTube video about like one specific like Twitter beef or like one specific post or whatever. But when you look at all the information and like compress it together, like it really does paint a different picture because it shows a pattern.
The fact there's 2 houses show a lot. They are completely separating their dirty deeds
Completely.
in one
and
house.
They also don't want certain girls, I'm sure, to see certain things.
Right.
Yeah, because they probably know that they have a voice and they're gonna use it.
Exactly.
So Zeus Network, right, currently on this website shows that they have 1,080,000 subscribers. Multiply that by what, 6? Mm-hmm. So that's 6 million.
$6.99 actually.
Oh.
So I thought it was $4.99. It went up.
It's $6.99.
An inflation, girl. So let's just say around $7 million a year is what Zeus is making. Mm-hmm. So then you try to think about,
wait, that's like, just from
streaming.
Just streaming. But also, who knows if that number is real.
And also, who knows if it fluctuates every month, because some kids be like, well, Baddie's not on, so I'm not going to keep my subscription.
Do you really feel like Zeus has 1 million subscribers? Because, okay, for example, Bad Girls Club, like, viewership, like, I think at, like, the height of the viewership was getting, like, 1 million. Because, but I know by the time, like, yeah, because by the time the show went off, it was in like the 100,000s. It was not hitting 1 million.
Let's see.
I would have thought more.
Yeah, me too, honestly, because it was really...
It was huge. Like, I would have thought more than 1 million people.
Where's my...
How many viewers did BBC have? The 4th season was its breakthrough. They average over 1 million viewers per episode.
Okay, never mind. I'm lying. But okay, so... You're going to tell me that Zeus has the same viewership as Bad Girls Club at the height of Bad Girls Club? No.
Yeah. That's
you really
odd.
think so?
I do. It doesn't surprise me.
For $7 a month, think about this. Bad Girls Club was on cable TV. That means people could just flick to the fucking channel and watch it.
Okay, but when I tell you, like, remember I told you about that person that, like, likes watching those things for the fight, like...
Yes.
They get into it and they're like, they really love talking about it.
I knew more people that were like, oh, I've heard of Bad Girls Club. I know what that is. You bring up Zeus Network. I'm telling you, not a single soul I've ever talked to. Besides,
right.
Like,
but it's also a certain age demographic and like.
Yes,
every
true.
BGC person that sees me in public when I'm out always asks me if I'm watching Baddies or if I want to go on Baddies.
That's the thing.
I feel like they took BGC's cult following to that platform.
Yeah. I also just personally feel like the reason why I speculate that the numbers might not be real is because they would need to up their viewership to account for the amount of money they are making that is not from the viewership.
No, okay, yes, 1,000,000%.
So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't believe that the viewership is where they're saying it's at. Because in order for them to account for all of this extra money... They need it to look bigger than it is.
And you can do this bot farms.
That is a good point, Julie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's easy to trump numbers. Exactly. We know that that's not difficult.
Natalie says that her fucking lashes make $1 million a year. So there was a clip from an interview where someone asked Natalie about her taking girls to Dubai and bringing girls on yacht trips and all this shit. And Natalie's response was, I take girls to Dubai to promote my lash company. My lash company is huge over there. My lash company is huge over there. And it makes $1 million a year. And that's why I'm taking these girls on yachts. It's to promote my lashes. Right.
Didn't she say her distributor was in Dubai?
Oh, is that why they go there? Okay, there you go.
That's what she said. But like, what?
Maybe. Let's see. Yep, it says, well, her net worth is $1 million, apparently.
Allegedly.
It's been saying that for like the last 10 years. I need somebody to tap in. If you're watching this and you actually are a customer,
Yeah, please. If you are a Natalie lash wearer,
I need
Okay,
answers.
I don't
we would like
see.
a review.
I don't
It
see
seems like a
lashes.
cover.
So let me get this straight though. So you own $1 million lash company.
And those look like $1 million.
You
And nobody
own-
knows about it.
You not
If
even
it's
that.
$1 million lash company, like magazines are gonna talk about it. Other like beauty places are gonna talk about
No,
these lashes.
I mean honestly, this is like really like look at she's really marketing
But
wise.
listen,
Beach,
You own $1 million.
South Africa,
You own.
sunset.
I wish I could see this right now.
You
I can't.
own
this out?
a
I'm gonna put a picture
$1
up.
million lash company, and the fucking lashes, the most recent set of lashes that's on the page of your $1 million lash company is from spring summer 2023. Bitch, it is 2020 motherfucking 4.
But
It's a
also,
whole
wouldn't you
year
be
later.
Wouldn't you
She
be
been busy
branding
getting
your
to the
lashes
bag.
on a show with women? It
Bitch,
seems like the
it's-
perfect place to brand your lashes.
Oh, right, yeah. And I don't know, maybe I missed it because I don't really be watching it like that. So let us know if
Let us know down below in the
Does she
comments.
promote her
Does she
lashes?
promote her lashes?
maybe it's a conflict of interest. They
I
don't
would be
let her-
giving them out to the girls, the cast members, like
No,
like
100%.
on BGC, we got makeup and stuff from It Cosmetics
Oh, yeah, all
or
the-
IT.
Oh, we got NYX. We got this hair company
Yeah.
that sent us shit.
Why would you not
Also,
be
it's like
branding it
she's
on
the
your
exec-
show?
She's the executive producer.
Yeah, she could product placement.
She could product place that shit everywhere. I mean, to be honest, though, we don't know. She might be. We wouldn't know. So maybe she is promoting her $1
Okay,
million
somebody
lash
let
company.
us know.
Somebody let us know down below in the comments. Okay, so we've been chatting for quite a while.
Yes.
So we can wrap this up. We know you have lots to do being in mommy duty and
I
running
know.
your
Mommy needs a
dispensary
snack.
bus, which we're obsessed with.
Seriously.
Is there anything that you want to like plug or promote?
Yes, I have to send you guys a goodie bag. Love you guys.
God, you're the sweetest.
No, not really.
You're like, no.
No, but honestly, we really appreciate you coming on and just talking about it and being open with your experience, because it is like, again, girl, like last time I hit that blunt and I had an anxiety attack because
I got you.
this type of conversation triggers, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, past experiences.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
I could
deep,
see that
so-
happening. Fuck.
Yeah, but so no, I appreciate you being open and sharing your story and your thoughts.
Of course. Thanks for having me, you guys.
We love you. Thank you so much.
I
for
love you
joining us.
too.
Thank you for joining us at the very beginning of this journey.
Yes.
And talking
Yes,
to us for
I
2
have
hours.
to stay tuned. I feel like this is gonna be really juicy, actually,
Okay,
and
it's
I
good.
need something to listen to while I'm like cooking. So this is perfect.
Oh,
I'm dead.
amazing. Well, we are going to have plenty of material for you because we are at 2 hours and 40
Juicy.
minutes.
Yes, we are gonna cut.
Wow, no way.
Way.
Wait, so where can everyone follow you? What's your social?
Jada_Cacchilli.
Boom. Thank
love
you.
It's my
you.
name. Love you too. Bye,
All
babes.
right.
Okay, I'll text
Bye.
you. Bye, Jada. Love you.
Bye.
And so if y'all like that interview and you have any information on any of the topics that we have discussed, shoot us a DM, you know what I mean? Tag us, tweet
Let
us,
us
all
know.
those things.
We want all the tea.
All the tea. Boom. Yeah, until next week.
Till next week.
Wait. Where can everyone follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Julie Tabuli. And you can follow me on Instagram at Julie Ovcharsky, my first and last name.
Boom. Y'all can
Boom,
hit
boom.
me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J or NextMoodSwing. Until next week, same time, same place. Peace. Or you never know. There might be enough tea. We might come back sooner. Bye.
I will come back guns blazing.